Welcome back. Unfriended and Unfriended, episode 20 on Martin Luther the King.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's right. That's why I got my equality shirt.
I like it, man.
Martin Luther the
Sick.
King. You ain't never seen Martin Luther the King.
That's why you're wearing your cheesy and the cracker shirt. Living
Yes.
the motherfucking dream, son. That's
it.
I like
And
it.
since today's Martin Luther King Day, I'm gonna make an official request. Martin Luther King Jr. cannot be the most dangerous street in every ghetto. We've got to change that. Okay. Like
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh my God, I'm on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Oh, Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Bill Burr's on
Yeah.
there, right? Yeah.
He's like Martin Luther the King. Martin Luther the King. That's from a movie, people. If you haven't seen it, Coming to America. It's a great movie. They actually
Yes.
make a part
Good
two.
morning, America.
They're making a part
They're making a
two.
part
That's
two
crazy.
of.
I know. I can't wait. You know what I love about that, by the way?
Ooh.
What I like is that
Breaking the rules.
Eddie Murphy went out of his way to hire all the homies. Like Wesley Snipes is in the movie. Like that's like, if I made it, I'm hiring everybody. The bus boy.
That's Samuel L. Jackson's like debut. You do know that, right?
Oh, he's the director.
No, Samuel L. Jackson in Coming to. Oh, you talking about the new Coming to America?
Yeah, the new one. Oh,
my bad.
Oh,
No,
that was
the
his debut?
original Coming to America. Yeah, he was the guy holding up the McDowells.
Yeah, I remember. But
the shotgun.
that was his first movie.
One of the
That was,
I think that was his first movie.
role.
And he went from that to being the most casted actor
Yes.
of all time.
Yes,
That's crazy.
just because he has a good motherfucker.
By the way, the McDowell.
Motherfucker's got a good motherfucker.
They literally based Pulp Fiction off of that scene. You know what I mean? Like,
No, actually,
No, I'm
no.
kidding.
Pulp Fiction.
It's
The
believable,
scene in Pulp Fiction is when he yells at the guy, like, describe him. He goes, Does he look like? I'm like, what does he look like? And I'm like, oh, even me, I'm watching. I'm like, damn, dude, just answer the question. And you know what's so funny? I'm like, is he gonna make it out the scene? And the guy shoots him.
that diner scene is
The diner's the best.
The way he handles that.
Yeah, he goes, reach into the wallet. Stay cool. Stay cool.
Yeah.
Don't want to know what that McGuffin
Actually-
was.
Right.
And then the third best scene is when the guy goes, "Are we cool?" to Ving Rhames, and he goes, "Are we cool?" Like, as in, like, "Are we cool?" Like, I just got ass
Yeah, we
raped.
cool.
Yeah, like, yeah. He's like, "If I never see you again, and you leave the fuck out of here, yeah, we cool." Cool.
Bing Rames, baby.
Yeah, Ving Rhames.
Still going too, man. He's in all the. He's in all the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah, Ving
well,
Rhames.
I think like the third one.
You know, I've never seen a Mission Impossible. Not
Bro,
one.
They've gotten better. Actually, one was good. Two was terrible. I'm sorry, I hated 2. 3 was good. Once you hit 4, they just get better and better.
You know what it is?
and better.
Oh, really?
It opens the
on.
door for special effects and stunts, and it's one
And
of those.
knowing that it's Tom, Tom Cruise had brilliant marketing on that. The marketing on that was behind the scenes on the crazy psycho stunts that he does.
Yeah.
Right.
He does like next level.
The good
stuff.
one is the
And he does
motorcycle.
them himself?
Yes,
Bro,
most
he
of them.
strapped
lot of them?
himself to the outside of a plane and took off. Not like a little plane, a big plane, like an army plane. Or
I mean, if you were in that position,
Military.
wouldn't you?
No, I
I'd be
do.
No,
like,
I'd
fuck
be like,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
invincible.
no.
I'd have a stuntman.
Get the guy to go do it.
I'd have a stuntman.
No way, man. I want that feeling. I want that
But
rush. Strap me to the
which
plane.
one is the one with the motorcycle?
That's
and
cool.
He does that little, I don't know what it's called, the front thing.
I think
And
he
he
does
has
it in
the
a
guns?
few. That might be the second one. That was the John Woo one. That
And
was
he
the one
did that?
when he has the long hair. It's kind of weak.
I don't remember.
Not possibly.
Yeah, he did that. He did like a
Possibly. He does
front
his own
side, He
stunts.
pulled out 2 guns, started shooting shit up.
He rides
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, you gotta watch him.
My cousin's husband is a big stuntman, and he's actually Jesse's like all over the place. He's like one of the world's. He's like one of the top parkour guys in the world.
Oh, yeah, he was on that show.
He's
right?
on fucking Ultimate Tag. His name is
Oh,
LaFleur.
wow. Wow.
It's actually his last name. But yeah, he's LaFleur on that show. It's super cool. But either way, so I think one day we were on tour and I was showing these guys Jesse's reel. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize he was in so many of those things. Like so many movies. Like how many movies he's been in, I mean.
Yeah.
Like he basically is Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah, because he's on.
You know?
He's on this. So I watched these guys.
I know who it is.
I watched these guys called the Corridor Crew. It's a big YouTube show and it's awesome. And they do they'll do stuntmen react. They'll do CGI guys react.
Oh, sick.
And
so you get the
he's
real-
been on that.
Oh,
Stuntman
Jesse has?
react. Yeah.
Oh, dope.
And bro, he's had some sick stunts.
Bro,
like,
Jesse-
he's out of his mind.
Hit the Hawaii 5-0 reel. Like all the stunts that he's done on
think some
Hawaii
of
is
them-
just like so much jumping out of buildings, off of buildings.
You know
and
what?
this is what he does.
Off
question
a
is-
building through a window.
Through
on
a
the other
window,
side.
yeah.
Like,
You
what
know,
do they
it's
do?
crazy.
Do they do like flexibility training all year round? Like, what do they do? How does that even work?
I will say this, like Jesse was always
Is that like a yoga thing? Is that like, I'm just like, what do you do?
Jesse was always a phenomenal extreme athlete.
Okay.
You know, so he was always skateboarding. He was a great surfer.
So he was like Triple X.
Essentially, yeah.
Triple X.
Yeah, he was like, oh, wait, this is real. I could stand on top of a moving vehicle and jump off of a bridge. I'm in. And he would do it. I love his Instagram, actually. His Instagram is great because
it's him doing shit.
It's just him and his buddies just running around the world, basically.
I follow him. I don't know why I don't follow him.
They got like that crazy 360 cam where it's like he holds it.
Oh, wow.
But that one view, you can't see the camera.
Stick. You can't see the stick.
You can't see the stick. It's sick,
crazy,
man.
that thing.
The shit that he does with that camera is nuts. Like, the way he holds it, and like he'll like do a backflip off of a wall, and it's just like seeing it in that camera. You're like, what the? It's crazy.
I'm down.
It's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I don't know how we got off on that.
Because why not?
Because stunts are awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to go right into it. You know?
If I wasn't such a large human,
you'd be a stuntman.
I would love to.
There's got to be stuntmen for large humans.
Yeah, no.
There's large actors. They need
Sure.
stuntmen.
I'm saying I'm 37 years, 36. How old am I now? 36, 37?
I have no idea.
I'm one of those.
Nah.
I think I'm 37. We'll just go with the older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beard, the grays in my beard today are telling me I'm 37.
That's a fourth kid on the way,
But-
and that's what that is.
But yeah, dude, I'm not jumping off of a flaming vehicle at 37 years old. All right.
2 million.
Unless I have to.
But those stunt guys,
Unless it's like some True Lies and like Melissa's being taken away in a fucking helicopter and I have to jump out before the bridge collapses.
okay, just save your wife. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know? Just grunting nonsense. I can play that role.
Definitely thoughts of a married man.
Exactly.
'Cause I'm like,
exactly what it is.
I'm like, I think I could fall in love again. that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head. But I'm like, that's wrong. No,
Like, you
love
gotta
your wife.
fall in love.
Love your wife. Save your wife. Don't listen to me.
You gotta
Fall in love first. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
You gotta know. Let's see, what do we got today? Ooh, you know what? I actually wanted to start on a bright note because this has been awesome. I've been following it. You know, Dave Portnoy is
Yeah.
president of Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
He's like the man now.
Okay.
Bro, what he's been doing lately has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he's got this fund. I forgot what the fund's called though. That's on me. That one's on me. It's basically for small businesses.
I don't remember what
It's a Barstool fund. It's for small businesses.
Oh, I
so he
think
has all the things. And what he does is he FaceTimes these people and he gets like these genuine reactions as he's giving them hundreds of thousands of dollars, being like, you're gonna get through it. And they've been amazing videos, like genuine, like people breaking down. Like, I gotta give it to him. I gotta give him this one because he's the only one showing like he's actually doing something. He's doing more for these people.
Okay, I remember now. I know. Remember exactly the story. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm trying to look up the name of the fund. I can't.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't remember that. That
Damn,
was
you gotta
that was
get your
dumb.
Google skills up there, bro.
I don't
Your
Bro,
Google's-
you're like 4 scrolls down and just Google what's the
Yes.
name of the.
Oh yeah, I get it. You guys could do that too.
Or your
because
Wikipedia's
here's the
name.
thing. Like I love what he's doing because this touches on my very essence of politics here, and it's like a very libertarian movement or libertarian motion here. To like this is what the libertarian utopia is all about: is just voluntarism, right? Is this guy he had a great idea.
I was right, by the way.
What's it called?
Barstool Fund.
Barstool Fund. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was whatever. So, and it's not even like he's setting this up as a write-off. Like this is legit. Like we're going to raise money to help these struggling businesses because we're all better off. We're all well off right now, and there's a ton of people that are not. Like I admire that.
I wish
immensely.
I wish that was the American spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Like I do. Like I get what you're saying. I love it. I'm excited, but I just
who's to say that it's not? It's like we put so much stock in big corporate America, that
you know why?
there
Because
are people out there like
no, I think there are people
know?
like that. But what happens is big corporate America is in our face every day because they spend billions to make sure they are in our face every day. So we're forced to focus on them. So the people like that do those things, you don't see them. And what makes it even worse is because big corporate's in your face every day, people grow up wanting to be big corporate. They don't grow up wanting to be that stuff. Listen, I remember Oprah going, you, and I thought that was insane. I'm like, I still think that's insane, and it's not. Because she's a billionaire. But I still struggle with the concept because the thinking is so like, people don't do that. and I'm still shocked by like there's just a million people like work done, builds houses for single mothers. He went to Florida State. He was in Tampa. Like even when I hear that story, I'm like, what? Like what's the president that still does Habitat for Humanity?
It's like Ford. I think not Ford. Carter.
Yeah,
that started Habitat for Humanity.
No, he does.
Like 97.
Carter's still
he's still
building.
homes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm like, you did it. I
He
get
can
it.
pick up a nail.
Yeah,
but God bless him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like, I believe that the American spirit could be that, but I think also the issue is that people have a thought process that they have to reach a certain amount of money before they can help.
Yeah, what's that number?
That's the point. That's the point. And because if people, it's the whole concept of GoFundMe. GoFundMe. You give 10, you give 20, you give 30, and then somehow you're all changing someone's life, as opposed to saying, when I'm a millionaire, I'm gonna give back.
Right. See, here's like the difference though, as to what's his last name again? Dave
Portnoy.
Portnoy. That's how Portnoy? Is that how you pronounce it? Portnoy. So yeah,
the drummer.
Okay. The difference here is that someone like an Oprah.
Yeah.
Right? Like she has the Oprah Winfrey Foundation. It's beautiful. Yeah. Great, lovely thing. Trump, the Trump Foundation. The Clintons with the Clinton Foundation, right? All of these.
That's not a good foundation. We're good.
No, clearly. But again,
Okay.
they're all blanketed things where it's again, it's like one of those kind of like the secrets of the rich, right?
Yeah.
Like they take large sums of money,
Dump
put
it in there,
to a cause, and that's a massive tax write-off.
Yeah, I got you saying.
To their company.
Like he's not doing it for any other reason.
Because it's a non-profit,
Yeah,
right?
I got
and then they're
you.
able to do whatever they want with their money again. What Portnoy's doing here is literally just investing $500,000 of his own money.
Right.
This isn't a tax write-off. This is a donation. This is... You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Because
I get
it's
what
not
you're saying.
set up as a
foundation.
Yeah, but
corporation.
there's I don't know I'm not even going to pretend like I'm an accountant.
Those write-offs. I know you're about that. Those.
I forget what it's called. It's like a 5104C or whatever the hell the non-profit
you're getting-
organization
Yeah, I know exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, I don't know that shit. But either way, like I love the essence of this, and it makes you look at other wealthy, successful businessmen, at least to me, differently. And this is what I always loved about capitalism and an open market. Is I am now going to support Barstool more. I'm going to watch more of their videos. I will share more of their things. I will try to help that company in anything because they're doing something good for the world. Whereas, the Jeff Bezos of the world, yes, you provide us a very amazing service. A very convenient, amazing service. But you have enough money that you can literally impact change into this world without denting your fortune.
How much of
and
that?
You don't. I don't think we should force him to.
But
we as people should listen to that and be like, "Fuck you," then.
Following rich people and billionaires and stuff, and how they get their fortune and stuff. It makes me wonder. Yes, he's worth this. He's worth that much. He doesn't have that much,
of course.
Because I'm thinking like Tesla at the beginning of the year last year was. I think Elon Musk was worth like $40 billion. Mm-hmm. The man went up $150 billion in a year.
Well, think about.
But what went up? The value of his company went up.
Right.
That doesn't mean he's got cash.
But Elon owns controlling stock of his company.
But in order for these people to use...
I get what you're saying.
They would have to sell off parts of their company.
Okay, but even if you are debating net worth versus liquid asset or things like that...
Yeah, it's a big difference.
What he's still saying is that they are still in a position to help.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure they still got
Now
billions
the question is,
in a bank.
Yeah, and
right, like something like that's good, but like the Donald Trump thing, he only paid $750 in taxes. It's like when you hear that, I just go, right, I can't have a conversation with that person because you don't understand the way that businesses work. Like,
no,
yes,
but I think
Donald Trump himself only paid X amount of dollars in taxes, but all of his companies.
I think this is what happens.
Paid greatly more than that. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what happens with rich people. We've heard enough stories. Like, no one is blind or deaf to the offshore accounts and the different way that rich people move money. Mm-hmm. So when you hear 750 or you hear... Okay, Wesley Snipes went to jail for tax evasion and he tried to pay. They just said no.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you hear things like that, it's like you get kind of frustrated when people, it's a little jealousy. When people beat a system that you know you have no shot at beating,
Right.
and you're not even in a bracket to even play the game.
Yeah.
That little jealousy sets in.
Not just jealousy.
It's like not only did he only pay $750 in taxes, not only do I pay more than that every year, I don't even know I don't even have enough money to get into the tax not paying game. You know what I mean? Like, so people sit there and
you
like,
don't know the secrets.
Yeah, there's a bunch of frustration. And to be honest with you, if you ever read any book on wealth, half of it, or at least a quarter of it, is about beating taxes.
Well, this is what I was going to say.
I hate to be that guy, but every book I've ever read, you know, they'll tell you about being frugal and how rich people don't, you know, spend money on certain things. Yeah, all that. But then understanding tax law has a lot to do with the financial prowess.
It's everything.
Of a lot of so
that's what I'm saying. Like the whole Wesley Snipes thing to me, it's like when
fires accounnt, Blade needs to show up to the
when
accountant's
that
house.
happens, it's like, oh, dude, like all you really had to do was read Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know what I mean? Like, read a paper book that's this big, and you would understand how to get yourself out of that situation.
Yeah, but I feel like
just open up a couple corporations. That's it, and pay for your shit out of them and write them off.
Nah, I feel like
it's not just.
I feel like Snipes got set up. If you really ask me, there's no way
might have.
he has. There's no way he doesn't have an account. I don't think he opens up a laptop and does it himself.
Unless there's a part of the story.
I don't see that happening.
Unless there's a part of the story that we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
He
I'm
could
sure
be
that
lying
there's
too.
something-
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sure
Blade wouldn't lie.
Either way,
Blade wouldn't lie.
Blade wouldn't lie.
before John Wick, that was the
Blade
greatest.
saved Marvel. The guy saved Marvel.
Blade
People.
was the greatest action
did.
movie of all time until John Wick came out.
What?
Yeah.
Blade is the greatest.
John Wick is the greatest action hero of all time.
What?
Name me someone else that you want.
I know. I get it.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
No. I always fight the Iron Man. Like, I don't see why that's the greatest Marvel movie. I don't know why people love it so much.
It's
I'm
not
just
that it was
saying.
the greatest. It's
I
that
think
it was
Thor.
the worst.
I think Thor's are better than Iron Man's.
Had we just switched this to Marvel?
Because you said action hero.
You said action hero.
Yeah.
and
What am I doing?
I
Action.
didn't say superhero, comic books.
I think Dark Knights are just as
But
good
he's
as John
he's
Wick.
an action hero. He's more than a superhero.
but he's a real dude. Based on a true story. John Wick.
John Wick's not true. You know what's true? Like Bourne. I believe that to be true.
Sure.
I'm sure that wasn't.
I know it's not true, but
exaggerated.
No, of course, super CIA guy, yeah.
There's an idea that was
Jack Bauer on
true.
steroids. I get it.
There's an idea of the movie that's true. There is a guy that named Jason. I think his name was Jason Bourne. Actually, that's a real dude who really
honest
did
with you-
lose his memory.
To be honest with you, the Jason Bourne movie
it's crazy.
that was really good was the one that
All
didn't
of
have
them?
him in him. The one that had
Hawkeye.
Yeah,
what's his
I think he killed it. You have to watch that movie.
I didn't see that
over.
one yet, actually.
Bro, I've watched it maybe 5 times, and on the 5th time, I'm like, this movie's. I missed everything. Like yo, because you watch it and you're like, I get it. Why is it called Jason Bourne and Jason Bourne's not in it? Like, you know, you gotta get frustrated the first time you watch it. Then you watch it right and you're like, this guy's not that bad. Then you watch it again, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this guy's badass. He's badass. Definitely more badass than Hawkeye.
Speaking of movies, did you hear that they're deleting Donald Trump out of? there's networks.
Everything? Hold on. Out of everything? But go ahead.
There's networks that are deleting him out of Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
They're just
Digitally
deleting the part.
I think,
erasing him.
I think that's just petty, but whatever.
Petty. It goes way beyond petty. This is something that really like gets me
Jesse.
fired up, and not because it's Trump. I could care less about that. It's the movement
The babyism.
forward. It's not
Yeah.
even.
Jesse.
It's, hold on before you try to throw this out there.
I'm not going to throw this out. I'm just going to. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Erasing history is a bad thing. You should not do that.
Okay. See, you have to put that in context. And the reason why you have to put that in context is because it's what we do. Like, I give you an example.
No. That's what we do this year
I give you an example.
or last year.
Even though it's politics, but Joe Biden on day one is going to pretty much go, give me everything Donald Trump signed on day one and undo it. Which is funny because Donald Trump was like, give me everything Obama signed and I'm going to undo it.
Yeah.
Like, this is the petty wars. It's the petty
That
wars.
doesn't make any sense. Biden's
Okay.
not going to do any of that.
What?
Biden is he's going to be taking credit for a lot of things.
No, Joe Biden on day one is going to do executive actions.
Yeah.
And the pipeline. He's getting rid of the pipeline thing, which is something that Donald Trump put back because Obama had stopped. Mm-hmm. My whole point is there's not even a thought process to why people do things or an example of the movie.
Of course there is.
The significance of Donald Trump in the movie was just, it was funny because he's a rich billionaire, and he's helping a kid that's lost, and you knew who he was. He was an identified billionaire.
Well, he was in
Home Alone.
But he was in Trump Tower, right?
I don't remember.
Probably. I'm pretty sure it was his hotel.
Nonetheless, he was in there for what, 5 seconds?
Yeah,
right, he was in there for a second. But
I think it's funny. But like now, what's happened is that his likeness, his image, his name is now forever tied into politics. It's not a guy who amassed a fortune. It's not his real estate prowess. It's not the guy who was awesome on The Apprentice. It's not. His name is forever for the rest of his life. Maybe his legacy is going to be the last 4 years. Out of 74 years, his whole life is going to be the last 4.
Which is stupid.
Which is crazy. But this is also our petty life because it's America's petty. You define people by what you dislike about them most.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah. It's like,
Goes in
you
anything.
name anybody.
Sports, everything.
When we talk about Johnny Depp all those episodes ago, like the guy did so much for this and that and they were ready to pull the switch. Boom. Last week was bad.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is that
it's bad. I agree with you.
Not only is it bad, it's destructive. And I get it. Like it's something very small right now and minute, like a literal 30 to 45 second cameo in a movie that was produced in the mid 90s, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to digitally take him out because we have the technology to do that. And it's like, well, then what comes thereafter?
I agree.
Again, it's the spiral that can happen, but it's like, hold on, because then like what happens in 10 years from now, where let's say like this soft ass progressive agenda is pushed, right? We do things based solely on people's feelings and emotions, and now history books take out Adolf Hitler. History books take out Joseph Stalin. History books take out.
Okay, here's my question.
All of these things, and then all of a sudden, like Trump is now erased from our history, and in 20 years, you don't have that piece of learning.
Okay, here's my question.
And now you just rise another one.
But here's my question. How do you decide? Okay, in your mind, do you think it should all stay?
Yes.
The history should stay.
Yeah.
All stay.
You don't listen. The whole monument thing too. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Because
that's the first thing.
Monuments is one thing though.
Yeah, but
like the federal.
Don't get me wrong. I wasn't all about knocking down monuments. But I will say this: I didn't believe we should knock down monuments. I just didn't understand why U.S. bases or naval ships should be named after people who lost. Just think about the logic.
Confederate.
Yeah, just think about the logic of that. I am a captain of Robert E. Lee or whatever the other guys are.
I think it's silly that people went around wanting to tear down statues and monuments, because also they roped fucking Abraham Lincoln into that one.
I feel like they should have been in museums, but go ahead.
Sure, you want to put him in a museum.
Yes, I don't think you destroy him.
That's fine.
I agree. It should. I get what your point.
I look at it this way, and some of my southern cousins got really pissed off at me during that time because I said, listen,
you lost.
This is this was the very first participation trophy.
Exactly.
Like, oh, it's cute. You guys had some generals. You tried to overthrow America. You lost. We'll give you a statue. You could look at them and remember.
But some of them were given for what reason, though? Weren't some of those put up in spite?
Yes, they were.
Of course.
But that's the crisis, and that's why they had to be taken down.
That's the problem. That's the balance.
I understand that whole mentality of we need to tear it down because it's a constant sign of oppression. Fine. We live in a very emotional age right now where...
It's not just emotional. The problem is this.
I get it. I get it.
The frustration is this. If you let something slide, are you empowering it or are you just acknowledging that it's history? And that's the crisis.
Sure.
That's the crisis.
Keep the Confederate flag in the history books because the Civil War is real. It happened. Mm-hmm. We should know about it. We should learn it in history class.
So we can see the signs.
Right. We should learn to not repeat ourselves. So keep the Confederate flag in the history books, but it shouldn't be flown at the South Carolina state capitol because you're not a Confederate state anymore. But you lost that battle. You're a part of the United States. You fly the American flag.
But this is the issue with allowing things to be, because when you allow things to be, then people look at it as like obviously from a northern and an educated standpoint, you look at it like they lost. That doesn't make sense. The fact that the Confederate flag still exists for as long as it did unchecked is why so many people in the South say things like the South will rise again.
Of course.
Because there's a thought process like,
bro, I lived it.
We lost, but it's not over. Like, no, it's fucking over. But there are people who are like, well, the flag's still there. We still understand.
I get it, but
you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to stomp something. And I'm not saying that Donald Trump needs to be stomped, but I'm telling the thought process behind why they're removing him from the movie is because people believe that there is a Trumpism or whatever you want to call it.
It's also out of spite.
And it's
100% out of spite.
I'd say 90% out of spite.
No, 100%.
10% reason for it.
What?
It's not a good reason.
Listen,
what is it?
Corporate America is deciding right now, right in front of our very eyes, that it is not profitable to support Trumpism anymore. When it was profitable, they were secretly doing their donations and doing what they had to do. And now, just like Aunt Jemima and that stuff, they're cleaning up their act. They're just gonna overcompensate so that people can look at them like, okay, yeah, maybe they did support Trump, but look what they're doing now. They took him out the movie, so people should somehow feel better, which is even worse because what it basically means is they don't stand on anything. They ride with the tide. So if Donald Trump had won this election, not only would he be in the movie, they'd probably be showing more movies. His book would be re-released. That's exactly how I judge it. They're just going with the flow, which is crazy.
I mean, again, I look at the last 4 years of Donald Trump as exactly what would happen to anyone who tries to stand up against the Washington elite. I still believe that.
No.
I believe that.
I
believe that he originally ran. Again, I don't think that he meant to. I don't think he thought he was going to win. I think he got himself in the center of that Republican caucus or debate stage in 2015 and legitimately just called people out because he did. He's like, I've given money to half of you up here. What are you talking about? You're all full of shit. And that's what he was doing. He was single-handedly picking apart the Republican Party, and that's what I loved. I was like, oh, this is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and then he wound up winning.
And then he got consumed by the very swamp that he had us all convinced he was going to drain.
Billionaires can beat millionaires when they don't have political power. Like, that's what he learned. Like, billionaire, he would have, in any other scenario, he mops the floor with these guys. In the political process, bro, those guys are, I don't think people and I hate to say this because I don't want to be disrespectful to him, but like, Donald Trump approached politics the way people talk to us about making drinks. Like, I'm gonna go buy this and I'm gonna go do this. I'm like,
that's a great analogy.
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
You go do that.
Shut the fuck up. A, I get your point. Yes, that will taste good. But B, you don't have 50 other drinks and 50 people yelling at you. It's not the same.
You go like
it's
this.
not the same.
Yeah, it might work.
Yeah, it'll work for you and your wife at home. When no one's around. I get it, yes. Maybe. And it may taste bad, because if you put too much of that shit, it's going to fucking kill the whole drink anyway.
Right.
Phil calls me up during, just side note here, during like Halloween time, and he goes, hey,
if it's candy corn, I'll walk out of here.
I'm making candy corn martinis. How should I do the vodka?
You shouldn't.
How should I do should I add the pineapple juice in it?
Oh, yeah.
And I went, pineapple juice. And he goes, stop. All right, we did it. It tastes great. And I went, I don't know why you're asking me. That's not my drink. Do what you want. So it's essentially the same thing.
What is it, a UTI martini? Like, what?
Whatever you want, man. I don't know. Don't put my name on that. Not that you put my name on any of it, but
it's a good analogy. All right.
You should.
It's fair enough.
Perfect.
That's a fair enough moment.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like, it's like, so I'm not saying he didn't know what he's doing. I'm saying he didn't know what he was doing. But
he said that he didn't know what he was doing.
Exactly.
Inner people around him. Again, that's what I mean. Like, he didn't expect to win. He wasn't like.
You believe that?
But okay, no. I
Initially, yeah, I think it was just to
well, he's done it
get
before.
him-
Buck the system.
The Apprentice was like over.
Yeah, get ratings.
He wanted to stay back in
relevant.
the spotlight. He had a couple of good talking points.
Mm-hmm.
He started gaining traction. Steve Bannon took notice to this. Steve Bannon jumped on the Trump train and fucking drove that shit through the station. They're apparently trying to bring Stephen Bannon up on charges for his involvement with
Come
that.
on.
I want to know.
It's petty time.
yeah,
I think Steve Bannon is a fucking mastermind.
Everyone's,
It's insane.
everyone's going down. It's petty time. But I'm going to show you something.
On a side note, just because you said that, did you see this cryptic thing that Trump was saying over the weekend?
What'd he say?
I was laughing my ass off.
Do I have to get my popcorn?
A lot of my family were fucking going insane about this.
Let
and
me
I'm
know if I have to
sitting
get my
here-
popcorn.
I'm
Yeah,
popping
it sounds.
popcorn,
Once you say cryptic, I know it's popcorn time.
oh my God, it was like, I go, this is
No, go on. What did he say?
This is what it's the Howard Stern effect, right? It's like, right? The
More
average
people.
Howard Stern listener
Yes.
listen for an hour. The average Howard Stern hater listens for 3, right?
Yeah.
What is he gonna say? Same fucking thing.
It
so
is.
he had a meeting, right, or like a gathering at the White House, and he said, oh fuck, what was his exact quote? No, probably perfect.
He has one of these every episode. I'm starting to
I
realize.
know, well, because
I'm starting to realize that.
I have like 4, but I hide it better.
it's because I get excited and then that's it. It gets so clouded with everything else I want to say.
Go ahead.
But he said something along the lines of the storm is coming, right? The calm before the storm. He goes, this is just the calm before the storm, right? And then he follows it up with, we have some of the military's greatest minds in here. And then a reporter goes, Mr. President, what does that mean? It's the calm before the storm. And he just went, he goes, it is. He goes, you'll find out. And left it like this,
Oh
right?
my God.
And then later that day, he's signing whatever bill he signed. And then a reporter then asks him again, hey, so later you said it's the calm before the storm. What does that mean? He looks at her, smiles and winks, and goes, you'll find out soon.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like, this guy's an animal, and I love it. Like, you know what I mean? He's so...
Bro, petty, say it.
It's not even petty.
He's
I guess
petty.
it's petty. Sure,
That's petty.
I guess it's
He's
petty.
the king of petty. I mean,
Absolutely. But you know what that just did? It just kept people like me on the edge of our seat for
January 20th.
what's going to happen.
Listen,
Do I think there's going to be some violent,
I do.
I don't think he's going to attach himself to that.
I think there will be some violence, but
I think that
unfortunately,
Trump saw, oh shit, that got out of hand. You know what I mean? Like,
not at all. First of all,
it got a little out of hand there.
First of all, Trump, aka Petty Wop, let me tell you something. He is going to. He's going to. He's gonna waive. He's pardoning 100 white collar criminals. He's already planted. Like, that's petty. I love it. Fuck
Is
it.
he though?
Yeah, I think he will. I think I can see him sitting on the desk. What this guy do? Some tax shit. What this guy? You gotta give him the.
If he
Eagle.
doesn't pardon the Tiger King, we got issues.
No, if he doesn't pardon, I have a list for him. What do we got? Bobby Schmurder, even though he's getting out anytime.
Yeah, he's getting out.
Yeah, Max B. We have a bunch.
getting out.
I have a list.
About that.
That'd be hilarious. I'd love
Think about that. I could see Trump doing some bullshit like that.
it.
Like
There's somebody else.
any pseudo famous rapper that's locked up.
Let him out.
Send him over my way.
Yeah, let him out.
Let him out. Let him out. Let him
That
out.
would
let
be
him
a-
out.
That'd be
would be a-
hilarious.
Could you imagine? And then Schmurder comes out with a
The trumpet.
Thanks, Trump.
praising Donald Trump for exonerating him.
I could see that.
Pardоning him.
But
Yo,
no.
that would be the G-est move ever.
But I'm telling you,
Casanova, all of them. Just get them all
Casanova,
out.
yeah, he needs to free out Casanova. Yep. We got
get 'em all out.
Someone get him a pen.
Yo,
But I'm telling you now, like
What would happen? Like, what would, like...
nothing. They'd let those guys
No, but,
out.
like,
That's how it goes.
How would the reaction be? Like,
You're saying with the hip hop community?
I'll help you out.
rappers be
I'll help
like,
you out.
what are they gonna do? They're gonna be
CNN would be confused because they wouldn't know how to report it. It would go something like
I'm confused.
Donald Trump in his final days goes rogue, frees
Rappers?
hip hop rappers,
Yeah.
Next.
sort of racist, not racist. I don't know.
I'm out.
Commercial.
I don't know.
Commercial. But even Fox would be like.
Anderson?
Commercial.
You can see Hannity.
Shut-
Bobby Schmurder?
Murder? He spelt murder wrong.
Laura Engel would be in today's episode of Shut Up and Sign. Donald Trump signs freedom to these rappers, I don't know, they're rappers. Like, that'd be hilarious. I see it.
Oh, man.
Let's go, Casanova Bobby Shmurda, free Bobby Shmurda.
Free Bobby Shmurda.
Free Bobby Shmurda. He'll be wearing a free Bobby Shmurda shirt.
Petty is not showing up to
The inauguration. I get that, though.
No, you don't. Stop it. You cannot condone that.
Gene, for a second, just take yourself out of it and think of it.
Okay.
Are you showing up to that? You're literally the most hated person in Washington. There's not a single person that's in that crowd that wants you there.
Jesse's the Tom Brady guy that doesn't shake after games, bro.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. I feel like Trump has tried to shake hands, and at this point, it's like, if I go there, it's going to be destruction. I mean, listen we can say whatever we want, but I refuse to even engage in a Donald Trump conversation with someone who can honestly sit here and say that he has been treated fairly in the media for the last 5 years.
Who said anything about...
I'm just saying, he hasn't been.
No,
he hasn't been. So therefore, that reason alone, I wouldn't show up either. And I'm not that petty of a person. If I lose, I will shake the winner's hand right and look him in the eye and say congratulations.
I don't care if he shows up or not. I will say this. For all the corny talk out of the Capitol, if he did, there is a slight chance it sends a message that, yo, guys, this is just politics. See, that's the problem. With all the beefing that the Democrat and the Republicans are doing,
I see what you're saying.
It's grimy. It is grimy. What they do to each other is grimy. It's petty. It's wrong. It's everything you want to say it is. But at the end of the day, it is just politics. So the same way, you know, when we worked for people and they did us dirty and then they tell you it's just business, like, I get...
The Bushes and the Clintons are BFF.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, him going there, like, it doesn't mean that he doesn't think that there was election fraud. It doesn't mean that. It just means that, yo, guys, I don't want people storming shit. There's another way to do it.
You think him showing up to the inauguration says that?
Yep, it would stop all the storming shit.
I was looking at it as the latter.
Unless he comes with a...
It depends.
Unless he comes with a security detail that's strapped and ready to go.
It's about his attitude.
Then I'm going to be like, oh, shit.
If he showed up going, no, I want this to be peaceful, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Going... You're all beautiful people.
Honestly, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you.
Dumb.
I'm gonna show how you be fair and petty at the same time. You show up when people ask him what's up. You say, "Listen, he's the new president. You don't have to say I lost the election. He won the election. Say he's the president. It's current administration, and I think it's our job to hold him accountable to doing his job." That's how you become petty. 74 million people are going to watch Joe Biden's every fucking sneeze. That's all.
They're going to anyway.
Yeah, they will anyway. But that is like a direct order from Trump. Like, watch this guy. So now he's on the microscope. Because realistically, what happens is, based on who's president, if you support them, you don't really watch what they do. If you don't support them, you're on their ass every single second. That's what happened to Obama. His fans didn't really watch him. His critics watched him carefully. Donald Trump came in. His fans didn't really watch what he was saying until it was kind of late. And then his critics watched everything he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now we're going to have the same thing with Joe Biden.
It's going to be the other way around now. And then
actually, I don't know if that's true because Fox News, which was enjoying a nice 10-year high of ratings, it's actually especially with the last 4, it was like boom. Sure. It's actually struggling majorly now, and it made me wonder.
Because they got bought out.
Yeah, but still, like, it makes me wonder, like, what are they going to talk about for 4 years?
Well, they got bought out and their format changed. There were things that they weren't allowed to discuss anymore, which is why there was that big uprise about how Hannity and Tucker were going to leave and go to Newsmax. I only know this because
I want you to Google how much Tucker makes, and you will see he ain't going nowhere.
Tucker was smart,
dude. I don't know. Newsmax's
he would do his own podcast. He would do his own shit.
Of course, but apparently if Tucker was smart, I wouldn't associate myself with Newsmax. No,
because Newsmax
stay on Fox.
No. Yes. Make his own shit.
He go on his own shit.
He's the next Joe Rogan.
He can make more money on a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he'd be a political. Right now. He'd be a political Joe Rogan.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, no, he's talking about millions of views a day.
No, he's a political Joe Rogan.
Sure,
100%.
You know how much money that is? We're talking a day. So now one episode for having millions of views, he's making all that money on advertising. That's.
Come on. No, you're right.
Hold on, let me see if I can do the Tucker Carlson stare. Right. This is Tucker Carlson.
He could potentially have more views than Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan doesn't do a show every day.
This is the Tucker Carlson stare when he has someone and they're talking about some shit that he wants them to talk.
What? What are you talking about?
So you mean we should just open our borders and just let everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So you're telling me my tax dollars should go to that? He's the best. I love him. I'm not gonna lie. I actually enjoy watching.
I had no idea what you were doing for a second. My bad.
He does this thing with his eyes.
I was lost.
He does this
Sorry.
thing with his eyebrows, and he just sits there and he just like stares at. It's like
And I'll just take the.
he's listening. He needs you to get to the point that he needs you to say because he
So we can just.
so he can
smack
fucking
you.
smack it. But sometimes people take too long, and he's just like, fuck, I hate this guy. Why do we bring this guy on the show? Oh yeah. He makes this point, but he's in.
Did you guys see what Candace Owen did?
Oh my god, I was just thinking about her
What she did?
you mentioned
This last one.
Is she making
she's
her
a
own
jackass
show?
for this one.
What'd she do now?
She's a jackass for this one.
She dropped a freestyle against Cardi. I knew.
No,
it.
that would be called amazing. That's not jackass.
That would be amazing. Someone should go straight.
She did a whole post on the whole Parler thing and whatever, and how Donald Trump needs to be on Parler, and 75 million people can't be silenced. We all need to stop using Google and and Apple products. And she tweeted it on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Jesse's not going to understand why that's
Of course,
ironic.
no,
But
yes. Okay, I get it. Ha ha ha. She says we need to stop using this while she's using the product.
That's
but
dumb.
Why is that dumb? I would say
Why
the
is that
same
dumb?
I'm saying the same thing with an iPhone in my hand. Like,
You know why?
Apple, fuck you,
You
for
know why,
censoring
JP?
people. If you didn't have a monopoly in the phone game,
They don't.
I mean, they do.
Samsung.
I would have to switch to
Absolutely.
Android, which
If
means
you
I
wanna-
would have to switch all my shit over.
Right, and you know
to
what Google
Android.
did as well?
They took them off too. Right. So that's
now
what
where
I mean.
you at?
There's a monopoly.
You on Windows? You go on a Windows phone?
Do they have one?
And they're not taking on Parler either because
Right.
they don't want to. So now you got no Parler, you have no Windows, no iPhone.
You don't see the bigger issue there?
What I did hear today is
I don't want to roll over and belly up and be like, oh, okay, well, Apple does, Apple, Google, and
no
Windows
choice.
control
Yeah,
our
but
lives.
but Jesse,
we do.
You
We have
gotta
a choice.
Yeah, but you
I
got
won't stop using Apple products because
You got to be
they took
careful what
Parler
you
down.
you got to really think about what you want. Okay, we love capitalism. We love a capitalist society. This is what we do. And at the end of the day, this is why all of this to me, I always laugh about it. It doesn't frustrate me because you run a business, you make a lot of money, and what do you think you do with that money? You create ways to protect that business and keep it
That's
being
it. That's
number
all they're
one.
doing.
And when you protect that business and you keep it number one, that is the by textbook definition
care about.
how you become a monopoly. That's it. Like no one goes, all right, I'm going to be the best
monopolies
at.
are bad.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. But it is the eventuality of our society. It is the end goal of every business. Every mom and pop, they may pretend I'm just a mom and pop. Give them the chance to have 50 stores, one in every state, and you know what they're gonna do? Run every little mom and pop out the door because that's what they do.
Yes.
Well, allegedly too.
Clearly, this is what just happened.
Yeah.
Hold
Big
on.
Tech
Allegedly
just said, fuck you, Parler.
No, they
We're
did not
taking
just
you
say
off.
that just like that though. They
He
didn't
was
do
warned.
that.
He was warned a million.
They didn't do that.
He was
they
warned a
they
million
asked
times.
repeatedly, both Google and Apple asked Parler to start censoring some things, not censor the people, but do a little moderation. They were doing none. Meaning, don't allow people to sit there and
But
say, "Let's
Jesse-
go grab some guns, go to the Capitol." Like you can't, you know what I
Jesse.
mean? Like you have to pull some of that back. I get it.
The
Whether they're
hypocrisy-
wrong or right,
The hypocrisy is that more of that insurrection, this is like things that came out, this is evidence that had come out, was orchestrated in private groups on Facebook. Then anything was
That's
on
true.
Parler.
That's
and
correct.
this is
No,
where I
that's what
disagree,
you
is
said.
that Parler was just a complete open platform. There were
Which is the
groups,
issue.
There were no side channels.
Which is the issue?
but so
that's
was
where
Twitter.
they got caught.
I agree.
And Twitter will also
Twitter only censors conservative speech.
No,
Okay,
mostly conservative
listen.
speech. They do censor some other speeches.
Okay.
Radical terrorists
Listen.
that are
Yes,
still
and
on Twitter.
they get
I
censored,
understand.
but sometimes they don't. And
I don't think conservatives.
It's
I don't think conservatives should ever get censored. However, we have an extreme, both left and right wing issue, and I'm telling you, the difference between extreme left and to me and extreme right is extreme left sounds very scary, but I don't see them do anything. Extreme right, I see the guns, I see the storming, I see the certain things that they do, and to me, having a platform.
I mean, the extreme left won't do anything. Yes,
No.
they will.
Oh yeah, I guess you're talking about the buildings and the protests. Yeah, you're
Bottom
right.
line is,
No, you're
yes,
right.
they will. They'll do something just as easy as quickly.
No, but my whole point is this. My point is that
extremism.
My point is, I had people tell me that this week was going to be 10 Days of Darkness. Joe Biden was going to get arrested. And to me, no, but they were dead serious. Of
course
there were people. And my thing is, what scares me about that stuff is even if something looked like it was happening, like God forbid Joe Biden was sick and he went to the hospital, it's happening. What was that person prepared to do next?
Right.
And this is the problem with all that extreme information. The disinformation campaign now is at an all-time high because it's entertainment. But some people don't understand it's entertainment. Some people are making money because of
part of their
views.
lives.
Yeah, some people are making money because of views and likes, and people are tuning into them. And some people are taking it as fact and reality.
But also, there's those crazy people who are listening to them that they identify with the movement.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, now they identify with this movement, whether it's BS or not. They don't know.
And
they do stupid shit. Hence, extremism on both sides.
And this is where it comes back to what we talked about last
not
week.
allowed to stay at one side.
Last week, there's a big faction of America that is always forgotten. And honestly, I mean, this is deeper because we can go forever. The death of the middle class in America is the complete rise of all this craziness. Because the middle class has been taxed to death since Ronald Reagan to save problems that it could not save.
Sure, I mean, listen,
The issues
all of
that
this,
middle class America has been taxed with, whether it's the war on drugs, whether it's the war on terrorism, whether it's...
Some would say it came from FDR, but...
Okay, yeah. Whether it's poverty, whether it's... Whatever it is that we are always taxed to save, it doesn't work. And what happens is different sections get hit at different times, whether it's the inner cities, whether it's white males in rural, in suburbs. People get hit at different times. And then that, whether you like it or not, when you are struggling, you are more open to disinformation. Bottom line, if you're at work and you're making no money, I tell you, Jesse was in the office talking to the manager about what you did last week, you're fucking worried. When I'm making $300, they're like, you're genius. Shut the fuck up. I don't have time right now.
Right, because it's hard to accept the fact that it's your fault.
Exactly. So
Can we just get back to the original part of this? Because this is the way that I look at it. The whole...
Paula got it.
Facebook, yes, I get it. Is a
but
private.
Facebook's on their shit. Is on the world.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook too. Yeah,
Sort of.
No,
they are.
If I could get on Facebook right now, I would.
Facebook is a private company, and this is what everyone's saying. Facebook and Twitter are private companies.
Okay.
Right? They're allowed to ban or put any rules that they want in. Yes. Agreed. So they're also a platform for discussion. That's what they've turned into. That's
okay.
So I look at that as if we were having a discussion here, right? It's like the bank coming in who holds our mortgage and saying, you guys can't talk about this. You're not allowed to talk about this. You'd be like, but this is my house. This is my page. Yeah, but we control this.
Can I say one thing?
We're a private company, so we get to control what you do as long as you're using our platform. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I look at it.
Can I say one thing? That's how you look at it? I'm going to tell you how I look at it. I look at it...
I don't know if I look at it that way.
No, I'm going to tell you how I look at it. I look at it like when we were kids, and I know me, when I went to college, there was like a bunch of people lining up with those credit cards, and I signed up for all of them, and I was like, oh shit. They're like, yeah, just sign here, blah, blah, blah. Never read no terms and conditions. Same thing with Facebook. Every fucking 3 days, Facebook updates this terms and conditions. And we have zero patience to go through any of the shit. And we click it knowing, I don't give a fuck. And then all of a sudden, shit hits the fan, and it's like, oh shit, I do give a fuck.
Sure.
And now it's too late. You did the I agree because you have 3,000 friends you spent 5 years building, and you don't want to lose them, and you want to stalk your ex-girlfriend from high school, and you want to know what you want to make sure your other boss fucking job sucks. You want to see people suffer. Whatever it is you follow Facebook for, you're in the fucking matrix, and you can't get out. And now you're mad at the matrix. You can't. You want to send Facebook a message? Unplug, but you can't. You can't.
I mean, you can. I look at it.
You can, but they don't have the strength to do it. That's what I mean. Not you can't physically, as in mentally.
No, I know what you
people
mean.
can't be like, fuck, like, this restaurant sucks. Every time I come in, it's fucked up. Don't come back.
Right, but they come back.
Don't want to hear your shit. Every time I come here, up.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways of looking at it. Unfortunately, you know what happened was there was this thing that happened, and the thing that's being used against them, I don't know if Facebook ever thought. Maybe they did. Maybe this was. I don't know if it was their plan all along, so to speak, was becoming so big that you are a political platform now. You are something that politicians use to get a message across. And Obama,
Obama's a Facebook president.
I think it's based all on bad information, and that shit's starting to come out now. Like there was something that I read over the weekend that said that Homeland Security and the FBI had prior knowledge to this, to the insurrection.
I've heard that.
Which then, boom, already proves the point that
it's an inside job.
Trump did not incite a riot there. You know what I mean?
Right.
No,
like
but
things like that will be used in a court of law.
He didn't incite the riot, but he did mention the date a bunch of times. I'll also tell you this.
It was the same day. He was saying, we're here, we're going to go...
He mentioned Capitol. No, he mentioned January 6th before because January 6th was already known as the day that Senate confirmed the vote. So like what they're trying to do with Donald Trump is like they're trying to use something that's pretty much an obvious situation as the smoking gun. We knew it was that day. He mentioned the day. He said what he said. There was anything other than just accept it would have been taken as inciting, to be honest with you. But we knew from jump he was never going to accept it. So he never had a shot with this. No matter what he said that day, it's inciting because and this is one thing I will agree with you. This is where the Democrat Party has got to learn their version of politics. Because if I don't accept what you're saying, that doesn't lead to automatically I'm inciting a fight. It just means I disagree. It's the same way we've worked with people, their famous line, I'll agree to disagree. So when people say that, how I interpret that is...
That's a Phil. That's a Philism.
Yep. I will... Whenever I heard that, I felt like I won. I don't know if you guys felt that way, but I always did.
Sure.
I felt like you're so...
That's a victory, I'll take.
Yes, you're so fucking stubborn that you can't tell me I'm right. Because I don't use that line. I don't ever say I agree to. I usually say I understand what you're saying.
I do. I either say fair enough or agree to disagree as I don't want to continue this argument anymore. Whatever.
No,
when I say fair enough, it's okay. I can
see what you're saying. Yeah, which means that I agree.
It's not really like a. It's
not a brush off.
It's an agreement.
It's fair enough. Yeah, it's an agreement.
Fair enough.
So
there you go. It's all.
So that's the issue. The political process has lost the ability to agree to disagree.
So I
now it's
ready for this.
Go ahead.
I watched this really, really cool interview with Jordan Peterson over the weekend. I know sometimes I fall into those holes, and I thought it was very interesting what they were talking about on a psychological level.
Oh yeah.
The differences between men and women, right?
Okay.
And he was saying that the interview was trying to like catch him in like some wrongdoing, like back him into a corner, and he did a great job of defending himself. But so like basically what he was saying is that he goes, the difference, one of the big differences between men and women is that men tend to be a lot more agreeable than women. I mean, vice versa. I'm sorry. Women tend to be a lot more agreeable than men do, which is why it's like that's like an evidence to like the pay gap, right? The difference, like why men get paid more than women, right? Because women tend to just agree more, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take that. And men tend to not, right? Now, they broke it into the differences between conflict and like discussions. Men tend to have more civil conversations than women because there is still that underlying, we could bring this to blows, but we don't. Mm-hmm. Because there's that mutual respect between the men having this discussion. Whereas with women, when they get into these discussions or debates,
catfight.
It's a catfight, and it's always a catfight. It's discrediting them, bashing their name, talking shit behind people's backs. Not saying that men don't do that, but again, the psychology behind it is that generally.
Where was the study?
I could pull it. I'll pull it for you if you want. It was a very interesting interview with what he was talking about. And it just got me thinking, like, it's going to be so sexist and so terrible to say.
It's going to be fun.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But what if we're in this issue because women got into politics? Because you have people like a Nancy Pelosi who is is so fucking hell-bent on vengeance to this evil man that stepped into her world.
She hates AOC too. What are you talking about? She hates everyone.
Right, but I mean, I'm
Joan
just
of
saying,
Arc.
like, it's...
Yeah.
Exactly. She hates AOC, too.
She hates all the people on her own side. Well, not all of
Anyone
them,
that is not going to align and do what she wants her to do is going to get destroyed.
But that's politics.
Yeah, that's...
Was it always, though?
Yeah.
It's really just a question, you know? It's not me making a statement saying that women are the reason that
Yeah,
politics are bad. I'm not saying that at all.
Well,
I just
I'll
made
tell you-
that connection
I'll tell you a couple
thinking of
things.
that interview with
I always
Peterson, you know, like-
I always put things in perspective. First of all, the reason why women get paid less, like it's obvious. Like, you know, people overcomplicate things. They entered the workforce late. I don't give a fuck how they slice it.
And then there's other
I don't care how you
reasons, too.
slice it. You enter the workforce late and you're catching up. It's the same thing with the racial gap. Why is it? Blah, blah? Because we entered it late. We entered the race late. We were making money later. So it's going to take a while to catch up, blah, blah.
Melissa felt this firsthand.
Yeah.
Right? Her and her partner, who were virtually the same age, they're like a year off of each other, both in their young, you know, at the time, mid to late 20s,
Mm-hmm.
right? Start their law firm. They hire nothing but women around the same age as them. And then what happens? Boom, this one gets pregnant, that one's pregnant. Next thing you know, Melissa's home with twins. Kristen's in the office by herself trying to run this company because their other three are out on maternity leave. And it's like, it was just a fucking explosion that hasn't even stopped. Because she had a baby, then she had a baby.
You know what it is?
Had a baby, then that one had a baby, then that one had a second one, a third one, a fourth. And now Melissa's on her fourth one. And it's like...
They kind of should have planned it out. I'm just saying. I know.
She got that firsthand, what that does. And not saying that but it's understandable. Like,
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Sure.
men also tend to put in longer hours. Not saying that all men do. Yes, of course. Like, this is why I don't know. Like, I don't even like that whole thing because
that was
my wife
also...
makes more money than me. She will always make more money than me.
But you know,
Short of me writing a #1 hit song that sits on the charts for years, my wife will always make more money than
But then
me.
she would flip that money and make more money.
And then
than
make more money than me. Right.
She can do
You
that.
know, so
You know
like,
what?
there are instances. That's why like,
I'm gonna give you an example. I'll give you a good example. Back in the management days, I always wanted to balance staff. I always shot for balance. It was weird. When
Gender-wise or
gender-wise. So in my Brooklyn
Did I
days,
not say gender? Is it sex-wise? I meant. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
So in my Brooklyn days before Forest Hills,
Gonna need 96 managers.
I hired a lot of single mothers.
Yeah.
That was my target, believe it or not, because even though they had children, and
It's admirable. They're single moms. They're probably not getting pregnant again.
that. And not only that, single moms.
I wouldn't look at it that way.
No,
I looked at it as
single moms.
they work harder.
Yes, because there's a desperation. So I
Yes,
went.
I know,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I went after.
Definitely, yes.
I went after the desperation because they have to work. But the backside to that, no. But there's a side.
And also,
no,
my kid got sick.
Exactly.
I
So
have to bang out.
knew that this girl's gonna take 18 tables, run all this food, but on a Friday night, if this fucking kid takes too much applesauce, I'm down to fucking serve her.
Yep.
And I had to live with that quotient.
Decision, but you thought of it.
Now here we go again. Food runners. I used to get guys. Tall, linky guys that could pull in windows, blah, blah, blah. And then women used to flip out about, oh, how come I don't get to run food? But this is the old days. It was different pace.
Same running food.
You know,
Because Matt can fit 5 plates on one arm.
Exactly. And
Not
I'm like,
bring out 2.
I'm like, that's not really sexism. That's like, he can do more than you, like, you know. But then they overcompensate by working harder, blah, blah. So I understand what you're saying. There is a science to men and women when it comes to
Physicality of things.
and mentality, because you have to understand your physicality affects your mentality, because how you were raised, how you lived. I mean, I can go so much deep in this because
Yeah, it's fine. We got it.
we're gonna get in trouble. But the reason
care.
why you don't hire ugly people, I never hired ugly people.
This was a
I know, but I know you.
you know whose mentality.
The reason, no, but
We remember Fridays.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you why.
the mall.
I'm going to tell you why.
What
Because
a good time.
I'm going to tell you why, because no one ever explained the science.
God bless.
The reason you don't hire ugly people is because of life experiences as an ugly person do not favor happier people. So let me explain that. If you're ugly,
I see what you're saying there.
Guys aren't opening doors for you. You're not getting compliments. You're walking through the light.
Happens on the guy side too.
Yeah, no, guys do. Guys, ugly guys are ugly. So now you spend half your day miserable, door slamming in your face, fucking watching other people say, hey, how you doing? Open your door, grabbing your books. You were the kid in fucking school that they closed the door on. No one brought your books to class for you. So now, who's the happier person? Who's the fucking happier person? The girl that's smiling all day, everyone tells her she's beautiful, or the fucking lady that fucking the bus peels off on her and shit? Like, not who do you want working for you? You want that fucking $1 million smile.
I love this right now.
I mean, he's not wrong. These are the things that
These are the things that
you can't talk about.
I can't.
But we can talk about here.
But I can't.
You know?
I can't say that. Like, and you know what's so funny?
Just did.
Yeah. No, I couldn't say that then. But you know what's so funny? You know, everybody wants to crack jokes. Most guys after 28 years old, you know what they say? I'll take a girl that's a 7 with a fucking daddy issues. Where did that come from? Before you're 25, you want the dime. I want a 10. Fuck that. That bitch is fat. That bitch is just. Now, 7 with a daddy issue. I'm in. You know, because it's the psychology.
What about a 40 when you're single? Now I just want.
No,
I'm just like, all
Give me
right.
2
If
fives.
she looks good at 35, I'm good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Good for the rest of my. I'm good. I'm good.
Now,
I don't have
when
to
you
worry.
get 40, what you do is you do cross checks to the moms. That's what you do now.
You don't have to when you're 40. When they're 40, when
you're 40, like me, you look at a girl and you.
But you don't have to.
Ah, yes, I see what you're saying.
Look,
what's their mom look
yes,
like?
you cross check
and that's fair enough.
Because it can go like this real quick.
That
Because
usually-
the hottest girls will look good, and then something happens at 37. Boom.
Pterodactyl.
Saying. So if you're
Yes,
single,
like Jurassic Park.
being single at our age,
Yeah,
and we're dating someone. I have no idea where that came from.
You don't remember that Jurassic Park?
Of course I remember that.
Yeah, good.
But if you're single at our age and you're dating someone that's 37, 38 and they look good, chances are
You're good.
You're good.
I wouldn't do it. I'd jump skip down.
No, because I understand what JP's saying.
JP
By the
is-
time you're close, you're approaching 40, you got your crow's feet. Like, what's going to happen is going to happen. It's going to
it.
settle in on you.
Yeah,
you know,
So
and
you're
like-
basically saying I'd rather deal with the truth than what could be. At least this is what it is.
Because, yo,
Okay,
let's be,
I see what
let's be
you're saying.
real.
You don't want to roll
Does it matter
dice.
in your 60s?
No.
Yeah.
You want a good looking.
Depends how rich you are.
You want a good looking
Exactly.
partner through your 40s and
100%.
50s. You know, and then when you're 60, it's like, shit starts coming down. You don't really go out too much. You know what I mean? Like, you're kind of like with your grandkids or
you
whatever
or
the
you,
fuck you're doing.
or you stroll at that Long Beach on those commercials.
Cooking every day.
I never know where the
Cooking
fuck.
every day.
I never know where they're going, but that commercial where they're 60 and they're rolling down the beach, I'm like, where the fuck are they going? Like, again.
Did you guys notice something silly that's happening with all the governors and mayors? How they're all of a sudden,
They all
we need to
getting bust-
reopen. We need to.
Bro.
Well, de Blasio got busted opening a gym for himself. Did
Well,
you see that?
No, what?
Yeah, De
hear
Blasio.
about this?
Come on.
He needs to work out.
Shoot it to me here.
De Blasio opened a gym.
He opened a gym he had a
The
gym
city
open
cut
up for
all
himself.
contracts with Trump organizations.
All right, fine, whatever.
I saw that coming though, because you gotta understand though. Time
You
out.
know, that's cool.
He did change.
I hope another millionaire comes in and opens up an ice rink for all the kids.
I hear you,
will
but
be.
he also did change his residence purposely to Florida to say fuck you. So now it's a big petty
course.
war. Back
So
to
they're both being petty,
They're,
yeah.
they're being petty. You don't want to live here anymore? Well, go fuck yourself.
But
there goes your
you
little
didn't-
breaks.
You didn't know about the Blasio? I saw it like passing on something. Like,
First of all,
Not to put too much stake in anything.
First of all, De Blasio's
Hilarious,
out.
though.
Andrew
yeah,
Yang.
explain
Andrew
this.
Yang is running for mayor. If we don't vote Andrew Yang in, I give up on New York politics.
What's the confusion? He had a gym open up for himself so he can go work out.
Okay.
So he
Just like that.
He just called a gym owner and said, "Hey, I want to work out. Can you open this
Yeah,
place
well,
up for me?"
listen.
Basically.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why people
Nice to
get
be mayor.
I don't know why people get mad at this "do as I say, not as I do" world. They are all doing
of course.
it.
I'm not saying-
this goes back to Nancy Pelosi with the hair. This goes back to
Yeah,
the
but we
governor
don't expose
in
it and we don't talk
California
about
that
it,
had
we
his little
repeat it.
dinner. The
There was also
California-
the Chicago mayor
The
that did
Chicago
the
mayor. Like
haircut.
I'm over all of them. You know what? This is one thing I'll give. This is why I'll give Florida guy props. Less deaths than we have in New York. Everything's fucking open, and there's no gotcha moments in Florida. Fucking, it's open. knock yourself out.
This is why
Florida made it very simple. Ding ding.
This is what constantly leads me to believe that there is election fraud. Because really, Nancy Pelosi wins her seat back. This lady has done nothing.
Why would she not?
Because
Why would she?
Go ask. I would go out on a limb and say
Any Democrat.
8 out of 10 registered voters would all say, "No, I don't like Pelosi."
And that's on the left.
I don't trust her.
You're saying even on the left.
Agreed.
People
I
on the
would
left
say 8 out of 10.
do not like, or Schumer. I've talked to people like
Pelosi,
Schumer. I hate
McConnell, Lindsey Graham.
Jesse.
Those 4.
It's just like the movies.
Because there's fraud.
You follow the drugs, you get drug dealers.
Yes.
You follow the money, you get a whole
I believe
different
that
world.
there are people
Like
walking around
Nancy
with blank
Pelosi,
ballots going, "I'll give you $20 for your signature."
Listen, no, Nancy Pelosi, the money, like
I could buy
you
that.
understand PACs and super PACs and all this bullshit and lobbyists. The money behind, okay, Mitch McConnell's race lasted all of 3 minutes. There was never a doubt in my mind Mitch McConnell was going to re-win the seat.
Joe, you could throw all the money you want out there for advertising, for trying to win your seat.
it's not just
Hold on. But what actually makes that happen?
It's not
It's
just
checked ballots.
It's not
It's
ju-
checked boxes.
Ready?
So
Ready?
how do you get that many people to check the box
I'll show you another way to do it.
when most of the people know that you're a corrupt piece of shit?
I'll tell you how you do it. The same way Mitch McConnell does it and all the best do it. Sometimes it's not about getting a lot of checks. Sometimes it's about getting the right checks. For example, in Kentucky, in the urban areas, there was only one polling center. So only so many people can vote.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that,
I
right?
heard about that,
Now,
yeah.
I'm not, and guess what? I'm not mad at him. If you can figure out how to do shit like that, do it. You got the money. They figured out how to make boxes disappear. Is it right? Absolutely not. Do I believe in Nancy Pelosi's state that there's a way to get Republican people not to vote? Is there confusion on the date, location of box? 1,000%. They do what it takes to stay relevant. Listen, I have zero beef with AOC. I kind of like AOC, but how she keeps re-winning the Bronx amazes me. She ran against a guy who was an ex-cop. But then again, a cop in the Bronx, yeah, he had no shot.
That's why she won.
Yeah, that's why she won.
I'm
Yeah,
confused why
yeah,
you're
yeah.
confused.
A white cop too. Yeah, he had no shot.
Oh my God.
But, yeah.
What do you mean?
But my point is, there's other factors at play because these guys have teams. You believe in it in like almost like a pure form, like they're going out there and championing their cause and rallying. No, there's fucking squads that go, all right, these are the districts we need to neutralize. These are the districts we need to motivate.
Sure.
This is what we need to do.
We need to suppress here.
Yeah, voter suppression is real. We just only know about it when it hits people who speak up. You know, white men don't walk out and go, yo, I couldn't vote today. That's not gonna happen. You know, like because they either don't care or they flip out. I'll give you an example. The Capitol thing wasn't just about, in my opinion, was not just about Donald Trump. I think it was about the fucking lockdown orders. I think it was about small business. And I think it was about white men in America going, yo, no one's fucking listening to me, and I will tear shit down.
I think that, and I've said this from the jump, the Capitol riots, we could call it.
And I'm not talking about the people that stormed the Capitol. I'm talking about everyone who was just there.
Right.
But go ahead.
The rioters, y'all are wrong. Like, you just don't do that. You know, like for the same reason that same group of people were shouting down people all summer long for throwing Molotov cocktails and setting fires at a federal building in Minnesota. You're the same people now. So y'all are wrong.
Right. Now you got to deal with that.
100,000 plus people that were in that crowd. Again, like we've talked about this, they were either fed a lie or believe a lie that they don't believe is a lie. They believe other things are. And I'm still teetering on that myself because
Either way,
just because there's a lot more things that are popping up now behind the scenes that are not being shown. That it's like, oh wow. But hold on. So I believe that most of those people are there as fear for socialism, because that's what it's been. Is the last 6 years, the Republican Party and the right have been cramming down our throats socialism.
Okay.
You know,
there's two things I want to say. So now, based on what you just said, those people have been fed lies, right? Mm-hmm. Back to the
election lies.
Okay, but back to the other point. if you have social media platforms that are continually doing the same thing, how do you stop that? Because you have the ability to read something, rationalize, do further research. Other people are just diving into the social media, and we already learned based on the show about recommended shit. So now they're going down rabbit holes they can't even control because they click one rabbit hole that leads them to another rabbit hole. So fucking 3 rabbit holes later, they have guns and they're storming a Capitol. And this is why big tech is accountable because later down the line, years from now, they're gonna get sued. And they're like, we're gonna stop this
Not
right.
my chair, not my problem.
Exactly. And I know, and this is why they have to step in and go.
I think the outrage is because
You're connecting it to the political. Yes, you're connecting it to the political. I see, like this whole era is going to be legal city. Like Zelly's going to be ridiculously rich in 5 years because you're going to get the
Threaten Jesse with a good time.
Yeah, you're going to get the. Did your employer make you work during coronavirus? That's going to be one lawsuit. Call 1-800 if they made you work.
That's if there's
she don't does that. She don't do that type of law.
That would be master after effects. If 10 years down the road they see that coronavirus, if you got it,
that's
actually,
one.
there's
Then you're going to have people like, for example.
Oh, sure.
For example,
a lot of people are fucked.
One of the rioters, she's a realtor from Texas, wants Donald Trump to bail her out. Like she's dead serious. Like she's like he basically told her to come down there.
Yeah, you see, this is where now all of this is going to happen because now people are actually being
arrested.
Here's the thing: is that all of these folks that stormed the Capitol, right? They think it's fine. We're allowed to do this.
Yep.
Because we watched it happen all summer long. We watched people torch cities. Granted, I'm not comparing the two.
I know.
The reasoning,
Okay, I get what you're saying.
But I'm saying these people who in their mind thought it would be a good idea to storm a federal building,
right,
with sitting senator, congressmen, and women in it. Those same people watch all summer long cities be burned. The media and mayors and governors and politicians around the country glorifying these folks, bailing people out that were arrested. So they're looking at this
a bail fund for each city.
Right. So they're looking at this shit like,
well,
this is allowed. This is acceptable.
But I'll tell you this.
We're not going to get in trouble. And now that we are getting in trouble and the FBI is cramming down our throat, we're looking for our political leaders
to help us.
To bail us out.
I'll tell you,
it's not coming.
I'll tell you two things.
Because again,
they didn't realize that they crossed a certain line of storming the Capitol.
Exactly. But
there's so much.
But JP,
I mean, we could do that, but
you know what I'm saying,
a federal building's a federal building with federal employees.
But this is the Capitol building.
Okay.
So that's
JP,
the line.
It wasn't the White House.
But JP, it's worse.
It wasn't the Pentagon.
But to me, JP,
Sure, but
the Pentagon, they got shot.
You hold the Capitol building up to that.
But JP, it's worse.
Agreed. That's
yeah, but I think
I look at it all and it's just like,
yeah, but I think it's worse than
buildings.
Yeah, but if they were so busy watching all the protests all summer, what came out of that? Because
for those people, nothing. Anger.
Because George Floyd's cops, we stopped talking about them, and I'm willing to bet if I Google them, they all got off.
No.
Maybe Chauvin didn't get off.
No, he didn't. I think.
But the other three, I think I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know, but I'm willing to bet. I will look it up after the show. I'm willing to bet.
Touche, there you go.
Okay, the two guys that fucking Ahmaud Arbery, that case is still going on.
They were just pawns to win
an election.
Nah. What do you mean?
Oh, he's saying that. Okay, when you say pawns, are you saying the coverage or them being killed was?
I don't believe. No. Okay, yeah. Let me clarify. I don't think that I don't think like Nancy Pelosi hit up Chauvin and said, "Hey, I want you to go stand on some guy's neck." No,
okay.
Of course not. That's not what I mean.
Okay.
I'm saying it's.
I'm like that's deep state. Deep state.
Yeah, no. That's not what I mean. I mean that
Infowars 2.
Yeah, deep state.
I mean like the coined American political phrase, the Clinton phrase, right?
Right.
You never let a good crisis go to waste.
I agree.
And that's what I mean is that there were microscopes on certain things that politicians in Washington looked at and said, yep, this is our ticket to victory. We're going to run on this.
And also the pandemic and everyone being home. So they got everyone's ears.
That's another one. We're going to run on this. We're going to shut shit down because, again, we all said it. We all said it for months, right? Watch. we all know what's going to happen. As soon as Biden wins the election, coronavirus is going to go away. And now you have fucking Governor Cuomo.
No, but
Mr. Shut Everything
I wanted to get back to
Down,
this.
No, but Cuomo
coming out saying we need to open up our restaurants.
Yeah.
You have who was it? Was it Lori Lightfoot in Chicago who said restaurants are one of the safest places to be?
You know what I think?
Now all of a sudden,
I mean, no, but I think it's more to it. I think that Cuomo.
What's there more to? They got their win. Now let's
I think they got their win, but I also think Cuomo's not leaving New York. Like, remember, we thought
Cuomo thought he was going to get.
We thought he was
going
to be a Attorney General, and now he's like, oh shit,
didn't.
I still got this shit job because somebody else.
Hold on. People are talking.
Yeah, because somebody else could have stepped in and become a superhero. Because if he got the Attorney General job, Jesse becomes governor tomorrow. He goes, we're going to reopen everything. No knocking. I don't want to knock what Cuomo did, but I think it's time, and it would have looked good. Now Cuomo is still in the same seat. Now you look like a jerk because, and guess what? When you talk about coronavirus, New York corona deaths are at its highest actually. So the opening of the city is just, we're not winning this battle anyway. People are leaving, going to other places. As far as eating, people are going to go to Jersey now at this point,
or Long Island.
So I'm not winning this battle anyway. I'm going to open. Not to mention, if I open and things go wrong for me, I have a phone call I can make to get money and resources. Like Joe Biden's not going to tell Cuomo no. That's another angle too, which I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I think that New York should have been open a lot earlier. You know what I always say? With rules and enforcement, but not just fucking closed.
You know what I like to talk about? People? Which rule you think is going to go away first? The 10 o'clock rule or the
don't tell me mask
or the food while drinking rule?
To be honest,
food while drinking.
You think that'll go away first?
First one gone, I think. Yeah.
And that's the one I don't care
see
about.
The 10 o'clock rule going away.
I love that one. I love that one.
I know you do, but
it's the best rule. Period. It's the
coming
best
from
rule.
a guy who only stays open an hour later than that rule, and I want to go out and have a drink afterwards. Now that I'm a single man,
that's what I'm saying.
I can't do it. I can't do shit.
I would rather. That's what I'm saying. Keep the food. Stay open till 12 or stay open till 2.
That's what I would rather.
Yeah,
He's
me
saying,
too. Fuck the food.
No,
eat something.
Right.
What I'm saying is I could see New York keeping the 10 o'clock rule. And
He's
then
saying the other thing.
And then redistributing the openings like they do in California. So in California, you can have a bar on this corner that's allowed to be open until 3, but this bar on the other corner has to close at 12.
Oof, that's confusing.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, that's just
I've talked to a few bar
owners. If anything, they should all be open till 3
this.
so you could distribute to people.
Right,
Agreed.
because now everyone that went from the 12 o'clock
they close down the 12 o'clock bar. They all pile
California's
into this place closes at 2, and then they go over.
How do they see that?
So the answer to coronavirus is bar hopping.
Yeah,
How did I not know this?
I don't understand why.
What
organized
I'm
bar
saying
hopping.
It's just control.
I know,
it's
but
just so that they can,
You're at this point, you're just throwing shit out of dartboard.
Okay, hold on.
What rules
Hold
should
on.
we do now? Oh,
Time
yeah,
out.
perfect.
Okay, time
Because
out.
then you
Doesn't
send
make sense.
SLA in, you give people fines, you fine
No.
businesses because you had people in the building past 12 o'clock.
But slow down.
Here's a fine. The city receives more money.
Hold on, let me say one thing though. As much as I want bars to be open, I want that stuff. The 3 deep concept can't exist in coronavirus. Like, we have to all agree with that.
That's fine. That's fine anyway. Fuck 3 deep regardless.
Now,
Disagree.
Now, because just in principle, the idea of being that close to people when you're
And by the way, but 3 deep, you got to also explain what you mean because some people might
3
not be.
deep is when you bartend when there's 3 layers of people. So that would
Across
be
the whole bar.
around
busy
the
bar is
a
what
busy
he's
bar
saying.
basically. The idea of
I've been as much as 6 deep, by the way.
yeah,
It's not fun.
So that
Or an 80-foot bar.
which is a club-like atmosphere, basically. So if you
Fun
have
at the end of the night.
if you have a club-like atmosphere or that, I don't
Yes.
know if that's safe during coronavirus. But the idea of a bar being fully wrapped and every seat taken, I think we should be able to do that.
Yeah, I think you should be fine. What's a piece of plexiglass going to do?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Leave Jesse alone. Those things work. I got you, Jesse.
Now that you got paid, I can say this.
I got another order 8.
Yeah.
Shit. Do you? Plexiglass works.
By the way,
My bad, Jess. My bad.
I don't give a
I gotta take a side tour. I love when something
Side
from our
hustle.
old show comes back. So Jesse, remember we were talking about the whole white privilege. So the guy with the horns, that's why I tagged you, asked for organic
I know. I
food
saw
in
that.
jail.
That was very left of him, isn't it?
That's
I loved it.
Left. That's left/white privilege. There you go. Because I know you're like,
I know what he's doing, and if he's doing why I think he's doing it,
He went on a hunger strike for 3 days.
it's brilliant, actually.
And then a judge awarded him organic food.
I know, but do you understand?
But why did he do the?
If he changes the whole jail system and they get organic food, I will this guy will go down in history books. Because other than that, I just saw a guy who really cashed in on some sort of privilege. Like, how the fuck? What? Can you imagine? What? Dude, you stormed the capital of the United States of America.
It's
and now
funny,
you
though.
want Whole Foods.
He might have just did that as a play, and it might have been a genius play.
You thought they were gonna let him out? And
No, not even to let him out.
Oh, because they're like,
it's something that technically, like that organic and it's
Oh, I get it, to make him
lumped in with the wood side of the spectrum.
I mean, that's
Technically.
stereotyped, but
Yeah,
Yes.
but we're the stereotypes. Where are they there? Why are they there?
they're
A stereotype.
Yeah, because
You
there's
always say it.
a bunch of similarities. You group similarities and they become stereotypes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now you have normally what is considered when you go into Whole Foods, you have a lot of liberals left. That's the consensus. Not
Don't
saying
touch
it's
my
the truth.
dragon fruit, man.
Right. So is it a play to make himself seem
Not a monster, but to make him look like a wholesome, natural,
I only
whole
eat
food
organic
eater.
food. I take care of myself. I'm not an animal.
I usually
Shit
do
like that.
yoga. And
he went on a 3-day hunger strike.
That's pretty
Right.
impressive. I'm not.
And then they were like,
He probably looked good too, dude.
all right.
Every ab was shown on that motherfucker.
I'm not turning him into
that.
Gandhi, guys, but I get your
Shit
point.
like that is, in my opinion, very American. Like that's the proper way to protest. Like that's why I always agreed with bring him up again, Jordan Peterson. Back when Canada was trying to put in laws to compel speech, he stood there and was like, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to follow your, I'm not going to follow your laws. No, okay, then you're going to get fined. I'm not going to pay the fines. Well, then you're going to get arrested. Then I'm going to go on a hunger strike. I'm not doing this." And I fucking agree with him there.
No, that's a good way of.
No, but I'm
I
okay with
agree.
that. Listen,
I'm just
No one
saying
else gets hurt.
That's
I'll get
the
hurt.
proper way to protest something.
Right, I'll get hurt, and it's your responsibility.
Right. It's not, I'm going to take up arms and go storm a federal building.
1,000%.
I'm not going to go burn down a city. I'm not going to hold up traffic. I'm going to make my point. If you arrest me, I'm going to go on a hunger strike. And now my life is in your hands.
Right.
It's on you then.
No.
Change this shit.
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting way
Yeah.
of doing things. Because
No,
if you let someone die of a hunger strike in jail, you're now the piece of shit.
You're now the bad person.
For how
Brilliant
long,
move.
though? I agree with you guys. But
well,
how
for the
long?
rest of their lives, regardless, their lives are ruined.
Yeah, because people.
It doesn't matter how long.
Because once you
think
hit the jail system, people start to think of you as a criminalizer. Jail criminalizes people, whether they're innocent or not.
I
That's
know,
the problem
but
with jail.
regardless, it's
Listen,
a
when
good-
Unless there's a story there.
No, I get it. No, listen, Martin Luther King Day. Like most people, when I think of Martin Luther King, most people immediately look at the "I Have a Dream." What I always remember is him holding that bar with the numbers. I'm like, because it's
crazy.
You know why? Because it's so real to me that, like, for him to get things done, he had to get arrested. Like,
Sure.
Like people don't get that.
In order for there to be change, there needs to be civil unrest.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
And this was the whole point, that not that anyone should be defending riots or looting or protesting or whatever.
But that was the whole
it's-
point.
You're either for civil unrest or you're against civil unrest. There's
Yeah.
no middle ground there.
But I'll tell you this to put civil unrest in perspective, because people get confused with it. 1991 or whatever, 92, Rodney King gets beat up, blah, blah. What people have to understand is the officers were found not guilty.
right.
That
Then
is
we
an
have
unjust
then
situation.
we have LA riots.
Right.
Warranted, understood.
And
Not
then
condoned, understood.
they retried the case. So you just set a precedent for behavior.
Yep.
Your kid went into the fridge, grabbed something, you didn't say nothing. Let's do it again.
You're right.
No pop out. Let's shit. This is a freebie. I'm not mocking the whole thing, but you get the point.
Yeah.
We encourage behavior, just like you said. The protests created the storming.
I got you. All right.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
Can we just real quick, because you seem like you want to dip
I
on
do.
out here.
I do.
Just to touch
No, I
on this
want to
again.
dip out on this conversation.
Why?
All right, just
Why?
touch real
Jesse's
quick
just
on
getting
this-
into
on another side
sexism
here.
and massaging
I know,
you.
right?
We're digging deep, baby.
I thought this was the nest, guys. I thought we were allowed to have open dialogue here.
We're opening.
Women on the front lines. What?
As a musician, I just want to say the last week and a half has been okay. I'm fucking over social media. I use it for.
You can't be, but again,
I am,
it's
though.
the
But
Matrix.
I use it for promoting my music, and that's it.
It is. You know I'm right.
Like, because what I've witnessed, again, as a musician, I've watched another musician, this guy, Zach Deputy, get fucking trampled online because he was at the Capitol that day. Ooh. And now
that's rough in the reggae community. That's why
the tolerant, loving reggae community
wasn't so tolerant.
Is not so tolerant or loving simply because this man stood in a crowd, never came close to the Capitol steps, but because he stood there proudly wearing a MAGA hat.
Okay.
Now, I love his
music.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I like Zach Deputy's music. I played.
Oh, you like his stance? What do you like?
Yeah, I like the way that he's condoning himself in this because he hasn't. He put out a nice video saying, hey, listen, it's and just basically just
it
talks.
Is what it is,
like
yeah.
it is what it is, man. Like you guys like one candidate, I liked another candidate. I have different views than you, and
being more reggae than them,
being way more. Loving, tolerant, and now you have people going crazy where it's like, well, you'll never play my festival again. You'll never do this. And it's like the mob is trying to destroy this musician's life who used to bring you joy, but because you disagree with his political choice, you're going to drag him through. This is why I hate the cancel culture, is because it gives the righteous chip to people to destroy someone who's done nothing wrong. But in their eyes, they believe he has.
But here's my issue. I get you. I really, really fully understand where you're coming from. But for me, separate the art from the business. If I have a fan base, if I get on a microphone and I make music or I make movies or whatever, and the message in it speaks to a specific fan base who's now purchasing and buying, you know what I'm saying?
He's looking at it a business.
You cannot betray them.
Zach didn't fucking put a selfie up.
I didn't say he did it.
Someone tagged him in a.
I didn't say he did it.
Picture.
I didn't say he did. But I'll give you an example. For the sake of this show, when I talk to certain people and they say shit, it's like I answer. Obviously, I'm not gonna shut my mouth, but I am more calculated in my response because you two can't suffer based on me just saying wanting to let someone have it. You get my point?
Right.
So that guy he's not. If he is a musician that is self-sponsored, has no what's it called, label, blah blah, independent, like a Tom McDonald type guy, and he wants to say, yo, I support Donald Trump, blah blah, so be it. But he's got to know, as a reggae singer, we talked about this, especially he's white, with the white reggae world and the concept.
I mean, he's not a reggae singer. He just gets love
from the reggae
festivals.
Okay.
What kind of music would you like? A Jack Johnson type?
No, he's a looper. He's like one of the OG loopers.
What's
he
that?
does like
sit with the
he's
loop
got a
pedal.
Loop pedal. He'll bang out a beat. Loop it, play the guitar, sing a song. He's party music. Like he's a fucking dope musician.
I hate to say, but the problem with the music is very powerful, but music forces people to put you in categories based on what you're saying lyrically or even whatever. And I'll give you an example. Someone sent me a picture when this all started going on with the pandemic. Buju went bananas about fucking masks and blah, blah. But I expected that. They're like, your boy Buju doesn't want to wear a mask. I'm like, he's a Rastafarian living in Jamaica who was falsely in prison for 10 years.
He knows how this ends.
Yeah, and you,
Been fighting it
and you think, and Jamaica survives on tourism. Now the country's poor because no one can go there because of COVID. Right, you think he's sitting there like, yeah, let's get masks and let's get vaccines.
It's the watered down, privileged American view of reggae and the Jamaican suffrage.
Yes, I think that.
Look what happened to Adele. She had the Bantu knots, and she got
went nuts
in America. In England, they were like, yeah.
You know what it is? Because
do with the festival.
It's our culture.
I think that it's. I mean, it's not fair to white artists, but it's very difficult to understand if you are being understood being represented or if someone is using something to gain money, attention, or
now there's also another. There's also another side.
No,
like I
get you. Like if Jesse decides to go to Brooklyn, shoots a video, and then there's a bunch of cars and guys with guns, I'd be like, "What are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? But if Jesse,
What do you mean? I'm not hood enough for that?
no, but I'll give an example. If you
in your real life, no.
What if they're
no? But if he does one right now in Mastic,
buckshots.
if he does one now in Mastic tomorrow, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe Jesse just decided to show a different side of Long
About
Island.
that life, bro.
But there's also
What you
another
saying?
side. There's also something
Music-
else.
Go ahead.
There's also something else to it to go against what Jesse was saying a little bit. It's some people, they identify with the music they listen to 100%. So now you identify with
so
this
you gotta
guy and
create
maybe
it.
what he's speaking. No, but if you listen to
Okay.
a guy and what he's speaking and all of a sudden he's complete opposite of with you,
You feel
kinda
betrayed.
you feel betrayed.
That's my point. I feel betrayed.
Do I agree with him canceling on everything and just mopping him with the floor? No.
I know, but my question is,
I don't agree with that.
My question is,
I understand why you won't like them anymore.
do you then believe that the music is sincere now? Or do you think he's just making the type of music
That's
that
what I'm
sells?
saying.
Because if you don't think the music is sincere, that's where the cancel venom comes
Listen
from.
to what Jesse raps about. Jesse raps about, especially in our first album. He rapped about surfing, drinking, partying, the shit we did. Like
No,
the shit he
that's what I'm
did.
saying.
Like,
And
there was nothing fake about
okay,
it.
I'll give you a good example. His song with the girl. What's the first thing I said when I heard it?
One Night Stand?
No.
Or Fire's Fire.
The new album. I'm like, it's a great song. I know Jesse, so I struggle with it. If I didn't know who Jesse was at all and I heard it, I envisioned.
What he doesn't know is there's some truth to his Jesse's
No,
verses
I
from when he
get-
was younger.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
and
that's,
spry.
That's exactly what I
And
said.
legit breaking bed frames.
No,
There you go. Look at him. He's a big man.
bro. When I heard it, I'm like, this to me. I'm like, it's a 26-year-old guy macking with chicks.
But that's the
On his dick.
26-year-old Jesse that I knew. So
No,
for
I'm
you,
not- I'm not
you didn't
saying-
see
I understand what
No,
you're
I'm
saying.
not saying.
Yeah, I get what
I'm
you're
not saying. Now,
Especially my Oogie fans.
But it's
Yes.
Listening to that song, they go,
exactly. Now, if
I'm auto-tuned. I'm
yeah,
getting
so I'm like,
descriptive of
I'm like, is this
fucking, you know what I
not-
mean? Like, it's,
and guess what?
Maybe
It's-
they didn't hear One Night Stand.
and it's not Jesse's whole album. Now, if every other song was like that, and then I now see Jesse in a fucking shopping mall
100 pounds
with his
lighter,
wife,
with
his
tats.
wife with 4 kids, I'm like, that's Fire's Fire. That's like,
right. But funny thing is, that's
was.
Fire's
It's
Fire.
fire.
Fire's fire. That's
so-
not fire. It's just pre-kids, man.
I
Pre-marriage.
get it.
It was literally fire is fire.
I get it.
But it came from a place of reality.
But that's my point. So if this guy,
what he's saying.
yeah. So if this guy,
Listen to that album, you're expecting like an MGK to walk
Yes.
through with like a Megan Fox on
Yes.
his arm, who's different than the girl you saw him with last week.
Which actually would be a great video. Maybe he should have a video with the wife and kids and everything. Because now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they should watch. No, it should be him and the wife and kids watching a video about that song. That'd be crazy. No, right? But
Yo, that's actually-
that'd be like Dad.
borderline creepy, bro.
And then no, because at the end the kid could be like, Dad. But anyway, I know,
Mom?
Whoa. Mom?
But you get the point. So like this guy, he's gotten canceled because his fans are hurt. He's got to figure that out.
No. Whoa.
Or
Let's just say this
or he's
here.
getting backlash.
He's getting backlash
'Cause his
And the
fans
things
are-
that I
'cause they're
don't
real
like
fans.
Is that it? No, and that's the thing. Like, what started striking me as like what was getting me fucking heated is like the amount of comments of people saying like, I never fucking liked this guy. His music sucks. And it's
Which
like,
is just
why are
hate.
you here then?
No,
Like,
that's
what are
just
you
that.
doing?
No, that's generic hate. Everyone says that.
I'm just like,
you know what that is?
that's the-
That is.
No, what I mean is that like some of these people that are commenting, I know them from the scene.
Okay, got you.
From the reggae world of inclusivity and love and compassion and acceptance. Like it's the same chick who's laying on chakra rocks and talking about energy, and then in the flip of a dime, you go take to fucking your thumbs start going, and you're just spitting out the most evil, hateful shit about
think-
a dude
I know, but
who just brings joy.
I said, I agree. Like I said, I don't agree with that.
Fucking hate it.
I don't agree with just.
No, I agree.
If you're
I agree
gonna be
he's
love
wrong.
and compassion, and you don't like someone, you do it with love and compassion. It's real simple. Go, you know what? I don't agree with this guy. I'm just not gonna listen to his stuff anymore.
But he's still a human being. You know,
The end.
No, both of you guys.
Especially if he's not attacking the other side.
Listen.
If he's attacking the other side and there's this petty war, like we said,
That's
different
what I was
story.
saying. Bro.
He's going about it with class, saying, "Guys, this is
his
just how I
answer
feel."
video, like he went live, and people were like just bullying him on like the stupidest shit, like, "Oh, so sincere, you're doing this while you drive," and it's like. This is when people do shit. This, you know, at least for me, this is when I think a lot. You know what I mean? If I fucking go Facebook Live while I'm driving, I'm going to talk to you, you know, for a minute. But what I'm saying is like his answer, what he was saying, made me respect him and look at these other people in a completely different light because he didn't come out like, hey, F you, your ideology sucks. You wanna thought, you know, like he wasn't saying, he was just saying that. At the end of the day, I love all of you as humans, as people. We have a difference in political beliefs. Could be because of our demographics, where we were raised, how we were raised.
Which is most
There's a
likely what it
million
is.
reasons.
Yeah.
And he was very, I thought, sincere in his answer to everyone.
I don't think his answer is not wrong. And the issue is this. I don't think people realize how polarizing politics is. When you say certain things and you identify with certain people, especially when you choose to identify with politicians, this is deeper than Republican Democrat now. When you say, I like this person, like I like AOC, I like Chuck Schumer, I like Mitch McConnell, I like Ted Cruz. When you say that, people automatically
what is wrong with you?
put you in a box.
Right.
You are now labeled by those people's worst attributes.
See, and I hate
It's not like people go, oh, you like JP? JP's so cool, fun. No, it's gonna be the worst of JP is what you are now. So it's like, you like Donald Trump? Oh, you're a liar. Oh, you like Joe Biden? You like pedophiles? Like, it's like, okay.
Everyone back up.
It's the
Slow
same.
down.
I had that same conversation with my cousin a few years ago when, and I it's funny that you say this because I said to her, it was like no via text, like we were all together, and I said, cuz, how about instead of saying, oh, you like Donald Trump, so you are
exactly
fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Maybe the first thing out of your mouth should be,
What do you like about him?
him?
Exactly.
As with me, you know, when she came out and said she was going to vote for Joe Biden, cool. I know you're a Bernie cis. I don't know what to call them, the girls.
You should have been like, you would let someone touch a boy, a girl? You sniff children? You sniff children?
Well, I mean, it did. It escalated to that because she,
Oh my God.
she did say something along the lines of like, you support rape. It's nice to know that you would support someone if they rape.
Yeah, I know. That's
and
why
I was
said,
like,
you sniff children. You should have said it.
Joe Biden was accused of
Sniffer.
rape too. What are you talking about? But either way, so like my first comment to that was, well, cuz what do you like about Biden? Because I feel like that should just always be the first question.
You know what they like about Biden?
To anything. Well, what do you
know
like
what the
about
answer is?
said person?
Oh, they're not
and
Trump.
even if it is that answer, I like him because he's not Trump. Cool. At least there's a basis. There's a ground floor here of I'm not going to build upon that because whatever, that's your answer. That's your answer. If you want to get into it, we can have a discussion. You know, like we were just discussing, which I want to talk about here too, is the $15 minimum wage, right? Most people look at this and they go, wow, that's a fantastic thing. And it's not going to be that big of a deal for us New Yorkers, right? Because what's our minimum wage now? It's like
15. We're there. New York City is.
New York City. I mean,
not
New York
Long
State.
Island.
I think we're like 11.
Yeah,
we're like
it's
just
pretty
under
close.
12 or
It's pretty
something,
close,
right?
Yeah.
So that'll be fine for us. But now, and not even necessarily fine for us, right? Like,
We'll be fine, Jesse.
you will be fine. Other people won't be fine. Melissa and Melissa's employees are not going to be fine. She's going to have to let people go.
Jesse.
No.
Listen.
I guess we're going to get into an economics discussion.
We might as well, because this drives me crazy.
Well, there's certain foods that are. What the fuck is this guy doing? Look at him. Come on.
Okay,
Come on.
Jesse.
Because now we're going to get into this.
No,
We're not getting that into it.
listen. There's something known as cost of living. Cost of living goes up. If minimum wage has to in proportion to cost of living has to go up as well. I don't know exactly what the numbers are. I'd have to sit there and really look at it. But
If you believe in minimum wage, which I don't, but
I
we're
do.
here, so
But
let's do it.
I'll tell you what's funny about minimum wage. And this is why I laugh at all these numbers. I was a manager in Fridays in the system. What was that? How many years ago was that, guys?
Let's say 10.
Let's say 10. I paid my cooks
It
then.
was more than 10.
It was more than 10. I paid my cooks then $15 an hour. Like my whole line. I used to get shit 10 years ago. Like, what are you doing? You're blowing. I'm like, I don't care. And you know what I used to tell people? That guy's a grown man. He has to go home and take care of his kids. And I am not giving a grown man, because remember, they were all older than me. They really were. Because I was a 21-year-old manager, 22, 23. I'm like, I can't give that guy $13 an hour in good conscience. Like, I just don't feel good about it. And then I'm going to yell at
Because you were 23 years old and you didn't understand business.
No, that's not true. I understood people with more than business, which is why I was successful. Because I was like, that guy will do a better job. And guess what?
I'm not discrediting you.
I'm going to answer your question too. Because I made those decisions, I had to have other discussions. Guys, I'm paying you top salary in the company. You two make $15 an hour. Because I made that decision to give you guys $15 an hour, I no longer can have 4 guys at $12 an hour or 4 guys at 13. It's not going to have to be 3 guys. 2 of you guys may have to close the line yourself, because the numbers, I still have to spend this much money a week. So I understand what you're saying, and you deserve this much money, but now things are going to change.
Yeah, but again, you're
There's
going
a
to Jesse's
price-
point of you having less people working.
Yes, and my point is, minimum wage is going to go up. There are going to be less people working, period. That's just life. But you know what? You guys are like, I'm more frustrated about, and I'm more frustrated about the worthlessness. Is that a word? The worthlessness of a bachelor's degree in the United States of America than I am about a $15 minimum wage. Does that make sense?
I kind of
Like, you can go to school and get a bachelor's degree. It means fucking nothing. We've worked how many times with how many of these so-called degree people who just want a bar shift on a Friday night? Like, you went to school for 4 fucking years, you got a degree, and you just want to know if you can pick up my Friday night. Like, that is a bigger crisis in America to me than the minimum wage. I understand where you're going. I think that, but to me, the minimum wage didn't go by $5. You want to buy $1 or $2. So, and I get it. By the end of
What are you talking about? The national minimum wage is like $7.25.
no, it did not double. No way. You're telling me that we woke up one day and they doubled the minimum wage?
You're used to New York's minimum wage.
That's what I'm talking about. So I'm not. Oh, you're worried about.
He's talking about the average of the whole
I don't
country.
care about Kentucky. I'm only talking about New York. We're talking about the whole country.
I have to care about it.
All right. Listen, Mitch McConnell has to give a couple dollars in Kentucky.
Maybe it'll come through in a minute.
No, okay. I guess
This is
Go ahead.
my whole point is that this is what people don't understand when they get into this. Hold on. Yeah, $7.25 is the national minimum wage.
Right.
So you're going to
Thought
double.
you meant New York.
You're going to
Yeah, I
double.
thought we were talking about New York, but okay.
Okay, but
from
fine,
a national.
let's talk about New York then, right? What's a good analogy? Okay, I'll just use Melissa's business because I know how that's all set up, right? So she has, let's say, she has a paralegal, right?
Okay.
That gets paid now $15 an hour, when really their skill set doesn't require $15 an hour. Let's say a secretary, not a paralegal. Because
I'm following.
you need a degree, right? So a secretary, someone who just answers phones and takes down notes and whatever. She now has to pay them $15 an hour. Now she has a paralegal who has a degree that gets paid $17 an hour currently. Now, $17 an hour who has a degree says, why am I only getting $2 more than no skill worker?
The moment you said this,
I need to make more money.
The moment you said this, in my mind, I had already fired the secretary. That's how fast this goes.
Right, but
Paralegal now answers phones.
Exactly. So what happens is people lose their jobs on $15 an hour minimum wage because and even let's say Walmart, right? Someone who they could fucking do $15 an hour, right? But when you break it down between all the stores and whatnot, if I think like what the numbers were, everyone who worked at Walmart would get an extra $10 a year if you took the profits from Walmart and divided them up to all of the employees. Each employee would make an extra $10 a year.
What is that?
I'm just saying, like, just putting that into perspective.
I get what you're saying, but to me, that just sounds like gross mismanagement.
So now, if you raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, a whole lot of people are losing their jobs.
Okay, Jesse, can I ask you a question?
And now, no, because all right, if I owned a store like this, right?
Okay.
And now I have to pay people $15 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, like you said, right? Someone has to lose their job. So now I'm going to break it down to, I'm going to get, let's say, 4 self-checkouts and 1 guy to manage those 4 self-checkouts instead of...
Which is happening already.
And 2 guys off the books.
Yes.
You're realistic.
You know, but what I'm saying, like, this is...
It's going to be more off the books.
The $15, the minimum wage argument is, I understand the whole livable wage.
Yes.
But what people don't understand is you're implementing a law. You're going to make something law across the board, across the country, that is going to benefit employees.
Yes.
But shut down employers. So now So now employees that you're trying to help are now out of a job.
I know, but a couple things.
It doesn't help.
Couple things. Business management is just that. Like, there's a budget. You know, I was given a yearly. Actually,
Okay, let me just say, just because before we jump, because of what you said before with Fridays, it was
Right.
easy for you to pay your line cooks $15 an hour.
no, it wasn't. I had to make it work.
Oh yes, you.
Do you know? Okay.
What my point is that you had the backing of a massive corporate structure behind you.
You had a budget.
We couldn't have done that.
The corporate structure actually worked against. I'll give you an example. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's called business management because it's for a reason. You have to decide what your people mean to you. And that's the decisions that people can't make. When you pay people less money, you're less connected to them.
We're on the same page. I understand what you're saying because off rip you said, "Oh, secretary's got to lose a job."
Yeah.
But that's not being for people.
Yes, it is actually. Yes, it is, because my question is, why can't she do more? Why can't she learn more? I'm going to give you an example. I told someone the other day at my job, I said, you know what, because you know me, I'm one of those guys. I'm like,
I don't like minimum wage.
I looked at the schedule. I'm like, how many reservations we got? Call these 2 people, cut them. The end, no questions. I don't ask questions. How do you pick who gets cut? Easy, bang, bang. Why those 2? Least valuable employees. Bang, bang. In life, if you make
I agree with you.
If you make yourself the least valuable employee in any scenario, which is the secretary, because the secretary has not put herself in a position where no matter what, Melissa looks around that room and goes, I can't lose her no matter what.
Right. She's a key employee. I can't lose her. But I also can't afford to pay her $30 an hour.
Guys, we worked at a restaurant where we closed the bar, closed the restaurant, ran the food. Like, are you guys kidding me? This was recently, guys. Like you do what you have to do. And guess what? Because we did that, a manager was out of a job. And bartenders, right? We were 2 in 1. Best combo ever.
Sure, but
but
it didn't work. That place,
no, it didn't work.
That place imploded.
Not because of that.
100%.
Not because that was actually probably one of the smarter things, but that was like
because that's
you need
where
management in a restaurant. Gene.
That's where people went nuts and stole their fucking faces off.
No, but
and the company crashed.
I know, but the issue with that place was guest count. We didn't have enough guests to sustain the business.
No, we had 6 servers on, all who had a manager's card, all who could do whatever the fuck they wanted.
I agree with you, but
and then was in control of the money at the end of the night.
There was not
Me.
Okay, just to put it in perspective, the behaviors of that restaurant were modeled from a corporate restaurant that was a lot busier. So
What?
Yeah, the idea of having
my biggest argument with all of them was we all came from the most successful corporate
That's my
places.
point.
Why can't we implement
You know why?
all of their
Because
successful tactics.
I'm going to explain you why. Because of that.
No, bro. It costs no money to have a structure.
No.
You have a general manager, you have an AGM,
I'm
you
gonna
have
tell you something.
a couple other managers under there.
I'm going to tell
Everyone hold each other accountable.
Those places had
that shit imploded.
No,
That's a lot of money.
They had more cells. And the cells allow you to hide a lot of shit.
Oh, for sure.
So
of course.
Now when you try to run that offense in a smaller operation with less cells, that's why it failed. It didn't fail because the system was broken. It failed because there was not enough money coming through the door. Now, don't get me wrong. Everything you mentioned made it worse. But realistically, there shouldn't have been 6 people with key cards. Maybe it should have been 2. You know?
No. It's just they used numbers, and everyone just knew the numbers.
I'm saying that
and that's another failure.
But,
yes,
but that's not a failure in the system. Someone
Service
could have looked at that number every day and every week.
that's a failure at the top.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Service
the
was
system
poor.
was not flawed.
Food was poor. Food was inconsistent. Everything was inconsistent there.
I agree.
That's also because
why-
the top was never there.
Sure, but
So-
that's why the people didn't come in. So again, it's just a breakdown.
I get it,
of the
but
entire
okay,
structure.
but,
From the top.
But back to what the minimum. So for me to do the story that I just told you, I also had to make my own decision. I had to work the line 3 times a week, things that I never did. When I had extra people, I used to walk around.
It's not very Gene-like.
It's not Gene-like.
At all.
Not at all.
The other way around
I would
now.
fucking walk around, talk to tables, have fun, crack jokes. But now, to facilitate the raises that I gave, I had to rework their schedule, and then I had to open the line by myself. You understand what I'm saying? So the point is, every time minimum wage is mentioned or a raise, because I heard this last year, I heard this 2 years ago, people always lose their mind.
You know what
And
else
to
has been
me
going
is
up, though?
People have to be cross-trained. They have to be better trained. They have to be more valuable to organizations. They have to.
You know
because-
what else is going up though?
What?
The price of the food.
Price of
restaurant, everything is up.
Yeah.
$3-4. And I mean, a lot of that was going up before coronavirus anyway.
Yeah.
But coronavirus made it go up a little quicker. But it was all
100%.
going up.
100%. And
With the pay, it was happening together. Like it.
no,
it
but
just was.
listen, restaurant prices always go
But my
up.
restaurant's different though. You know, the cooks at my restaurant aren't $15 an hour type of guys. They're cooking meals, like they're cooking high-end steaks.
So you're saying
and
they're more
shit.
money?
They're more money regardless. I
Wow.
mean, yeah, there's a couple of guys that
I'll
are
be
probably
honest,
minimum
they
wage.
can probably get them for 15 to do that job. But okay,
in the next 3 years, once $15 an hour minimum wage goes across the land, because I think it's like a slow progression to it.
I think you should be excited about this.
I'm
Actually,
so not.
I think that
Because
the $15
in
an
the
hour.
next 3 years, you're going to have massive unemployment, and you're going to have such a decrease in startups.
What you're telling
startup
me
business.
is what I'm hearing, but not hearing, like as I read between the lines, is that because minimum wage is going to go up, there are going to be a lot of jobs that aren't per se important or pertinent that are going to be phased all across America.
Yes.
This is going to sound fucked up, but like, if I walk into McDonald's and I have to press the button myself and it comes out of the chute, I'm not that mad that someone's not giving it to me for $15 an hour. And I hope they didn't sound as bad as I felt. But like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, no.
When was the last time you were in
I go to
Los
ShopRite all the
Angeles?
time and I hit the button.
Because you travel a lot. When was the last time you were in Los Angeles?
I actually stay away from LA.
Why?
Because they are now the fucking crisis center for COVID. I knew that would happen.
First place that went to mandatory higher minimum wages. Places started automating. People lose their jobs. People get placed out of their houses because now the cost of living is through the roof because things go. And now you have a massive homelessness population where you have people who sit in boardrooms living in their car.
Yeah, but you do realize that the minimum wage is always the response to the cost of living. Now, it's like the chicken or the egg. It's not like the minimum wage comes first. Cost of living.
But it's being artificially created right now.
The cost of living in LA was always way too
Exactly.
high.
Exactly. And they bottomed out. LA
And
was,
I'm saying that, and I'm on Long Island.
LA was out of control years before we realized it. We just attribute, when people think of LA, they think of Hollywood. And they didn't realize there's a whole population of people that have to eat, live. Oh, we think of, actors. Like, no. There are people everyday people, and LA did not account for that. Maybe there should have been a bigger tax on Hollywood, if you ask me. Because if Hollywood is part of Los Angeles, California, then the money generated
I
there.
believe that's the biggest problem is that their taxes got so out of control.
And everyone's leaving. Their taxes are ridiculous.
There's money left, which means the jobs left. Like Tesla leaving California,
It's
what
a
do you
big
think
deal.
that does to that state
Oh, it
economy?
destroys it. It crushes it.
I mean,
Gotta do something.
Like that state workforce.
How many
That's-
jobs is that?
That's thousands.
Well, I mean,
of
listen, that
jobs.
plant is still going to be there. It's
But it's not
just
gonna be the
the
main-
headquarters and
Oh, I
everything's not
thought
gonna
they didn't pull.
No,
they
that-
are
that-
eventually going to pull manufacturing out of there, right?
maybe, I don't know. It depends. It's still
I want to look into that now. Yeah.
that factory is building 500,000
Cars.
cars almost. It's capable of building up to 550,000 cars a year.
But guys,
It didn't build all five. They did 500,000 in sales, but that was also attributed to some of Shanghai.
But guys, all right, let's do a very bad math exercise here. But okay, $15 an hour times 40 hours is what? $600? That's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could pull out the phone because
Just be
we're
accurate.
a podcast, not a math cast. So yeah, 15 times 40 is about $600, right?
Yeah.
Now hit 600 times about 26% tax about your paycheck.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's about 26%, some shit like that.
Oops.
So what's that? 480? What are you left with?
But
600 times 26%.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. Oh, so you.
$158.
158 comes out.
Yeah, it comes out. So you're left with 443.
Yeah.
Okay, so 443 a week, guys. 443 a week.
Oh, listen, I get it.
So that's
But
that's,
again, we're in New York. It's not
So that's
crazy for us.
$900 biweekly. So that's $1,800 a month. So rent is at least $1,000.
Here's the only way, because this is what they.
You know what I'm saying? And then a car. If you have a car, and I get it, you don't need to have a car. You can take the train, but whatever. You're talking about $1,500. The cell phone's $100.
This is the mentality.
Zero
of it.
saving. You're barely getting by.
The way it can work is this is the only way it can work.
Go ahead.
It's just
And that's if you get
everyone
the 40
gets
hours.
all right. So like say in a state like Kentucky or wherever
ahead.
that has a super low minimum wage, and they all get bumped up to 15. Now, in order for these places not to either fire people or make the
They will.
price
That's automatic.
skyrocket the
Automatic.
Well, I'm just saying, or skyrocket the price of their food or
They can't do that.
product.
Supply and demand. They can't do that
Right.
either.
So the only way it works is now, okay, all these people make more money. Are they spending more? Because if they spend more and I have more coming in,
Of course.
yes, theoretically,
we're a consumer,
it can work.
We're a consumer-based economy. Listen, America...
And listen, that pandemic kind of showed that free money that everyone was getting.
all they did was spend it.
All they did was spend it.
And go to Atlanta.
In theory, it can still
And Florida.
work. Yes, are the odds stacked against them? Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you
But
now,
in theory, it can work.
I believe in American.
theory.
I believe in American small business.
We'll see.
I
That's all I can
believe
say.
what's going to happen now is you're going to have better employees. They're going to have to bring more to the table. There's
Like
a
I
reason
said,
why.
we'll see.
There's a reason why we can walk into any restaurant and get a job because you're the better employee.
You know, like they say.
You could bartend. I can close your restaurant. You can do both. You know, like these are why all that stuff come into handy.
And you're going to work for $15 an hour and you can do all that? No, you're going to
Plus tips? Yeah.
bartenders, what are you nuts?
You're going to negotiate for a higher wage.
Exactly. And if I win my negotiation, I'm successful. If I lose, I lose. And I go somewhere else. I have to make that risk. I have to take that chance.
This is why I disagree with minimum wage.
Why? You're going to get a better employee.
Disagree.
Listen, you know what you get for the minimum? The minimum.
Yeah.
Well, now you're gonna get a $15 employee versus an $8 employee.
No, the $8 employee is still going to be there doing the $8 job, just getting paid $15.
Guarantee that won't happen.
How?
Because I told you,
Their job description isn't going to change.
Bro,
You're not going to get $15 an hour as a clerk, and then all of a sudden you have to now take on more responsibility.
You guys worked in restaurants for a long time. You think dishwashers always did prep? You think that's how it worked? No, I'll tell you how it was way back when I started.
Yeah, I was a dishwasher.
There was a
when
dishwasher.
I washed dishes. That was it.
That was it. There was a prep cook and there was a line cook. You know what happened? Wages went up. Dishwasher had to learn how to do prep because I can't have both.
You see it everywhere.
Or the prep guy had to wash dishes.
Yes, I
Either
get
way.
that. Gene, we understand this, but this is what I'm saying is the destruction. That's what's devastating, is that I get it. You're saying, yeah, well, whatever. The secretary
here's my
has to lose
issue,
her
though.
job. And
Or
now that's,
she has to go to school to become a paralegal. She has to do more. She's not getting by just answering
I
the phone.
get it. I understand that. But right
Yeah.
now she is. And now with a $15 minimum wage, now she's not, which means she loses her job. And everyone else like her lose their job. And now you have a mass...
Or prices go up.
You have a mass amount of unemployment.
But you're saying this as 100% fact.
What?
You can't, what you're saying right now, you're saying this is what's going to happen no other way.
I mean, yeah, that's okay.
No,
I'll say that I'm like 95% sure that that's going to happen because 95% of CEOs are not going to take a pay cut because the government is forcing them to pay their employees.
It's not just pay cut. 95%
So then you're going to blame that on minimum wage, or you're going to blame that on CEOs?
Thank you. Because
I'm going to blame that. I'm going to blame that on the government, thinking that they can insert themselves into private companies.
But bro,
just like the government can't stop Facebook from banning Trump, right? Because they're a private company.
Yeah, but
well, here we are again, guys.
But Jesse,
it's the same thing. Only this one we're cherry picking, saying that no, this is going to benefit. So I like the government.
But this is people's lives. This isn't.
I don't think it's going to benefit. I think that we want to talk about a guy making $15 an hour, but God forbid we talk about the CEO's bonuses. Like CEOs all over America for the last 20
Who are we to decide what someone does with their company?
See?
No, not see. Like this is the problem.
I don't understand.
I agree with you. I think that there is.
But what if they're the cause of the problem? So now, we got to go.
They are.
Who?
The CEOs, like
they are.
How?
The same way. So the same way that the government decided to give themselves a raise when they weren't giving us money.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, ready?
But the government is taking our money and giving themselves raises.
Can I give you an example?
just saying, like
The CEO is profiting money that he's invested into an idea.
Can I give you an example? I'm gonna give you an example. Right?
Way different.
Are you gonna get? The problem is that CEOs were trying to undercut people and give people such low wages they couldn't live at all.
So then
the government had to step in because now it's like, you guys are being dicks.
And if the government did step in, we have to
in the end, for me, it's the dudes with shit tons of money trying to make more money.
Yes.
Now listen. If I was in that position, who knows? I might be one of those guys. You put, like Bill Burr said, you put a suit on me, I want to start taking shit over.
Jesse,
I could be that way too. I don't know.
I'm going to give you a real live example. You ready? When I was a manager in Fridays, this is a big manager Friday day, but ready? I worked for one GM, won't name him at all. So back then, we used to bonus every month. Every month. So
Why?
Because that was the corporate structure.
No. Why? Because I was in the same company. I know why you guys bonused.
No, I'm going to tell you.
Because your store...
Hold on. I'll explain to you. So
your store was crushing.
Yeah, no. This story's great. Just wait on. So we bonus on sales, on profit, and I forgot what else it was. So we bonus on that, right? So we bonus every month, right?
You also bonus on length of employees.
Retention, but that was later on. I'll get to that. So now what happened was the guy I worked for used to fuck it up sometimes. Mm-hmm. So what he did was he'd realize we're having a bad month, and he'd be like, fuck it, we're going to tank it. And he would tank it, and then the next month we'd hit because he tanked everything, paid extra shit, and then the next month we were set up to win. So for corporate, he looked like this. And it was annoying to them because it's like, no. You're supposed to balance the book. We're supposed to hit every fucking month, not every month. But to him, he's like, yo, you know what? If I hit every 2 months, what's the big deal? Corporate's response to that was like, quarterly bonuses. Walked one day to a big meeting. We were no longer bonus monthly. The good GMs who didn't do shit like that were like, what the fuck? Flipping out. They already planned their lives out, blah, 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 blah. Boom. So now we bonus quarterly. But you see, that's a reaction. I'm going to give you another side to the same coin. Ready? Other side to that coin. I walk into one day.
We're making the same point, though.
Yes and no. I walk into one day, Forest Hills. I was like, I told the servers, we had a big meeting. I was like, you guys all want to raise? Oh, yeah, we all want to raise, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, I'm getting rid of busboys. Bust your own tables. Everybody was like, what the? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm giving you a 3% of whatever your sales raise. What's the issue here? What you thought I was gonna go in the computer and give you $1? No. Bust your fucking tables. That's your fucking raise. But now I made the manager's life harder because now people who aren't used to doing sweeping and go check the bathroom. But you get my point? The point is
yes, I get your point.
Like
100%.
It sucks. But things will be more expensive. People will always have to get paid more. And American business, the ingenuity of American business is the adaptability of it.
So, Gene,
and if they cannot adapt, I don't feel that bad because somebody else will, and they will become the next tycoon. MySpace
yes.
had a shot.
Yep.
Nobody wanted to be Tom's friend. And now you're mad that there's rooms where they want to scale buildings. You see the point?
So let me ask you something. Why didn't you take $20 every week out of your paycheck and give all of those 20 servers, let's say, $1 raise?
We're not talking about that guy. We're talking about the
guy who runs the company. But I will tell you, it's funny. It's funny you say.
I'm just saying.
No, but it's funny you say that because as a manager.
So you want the guy who incurs all the risk at the top.
What risk?
Of running a company. If Fridays goes out of business, you're not in trouble. You're just out of a job.
I know, but
you're not billions of dollars in debt.
You're right, but I'll give you an example. And this is why it's so funny with business, because it does always fall on guys like me. And guess what? You're right. I did have to spend my own money. I have to buy movie tickets and negotiate deals just to reward employees and give incentives. And guys, whoever sells the most 3-for-alls today, I'm giving you 5 lotto tickets. So yeah, it costs me money. Because the people up top, when I would go to meetings and I'd say we have to incentivize them, they have a job. That's the incentive.
Right.
Like, I can't formulate that into words. It's like a bartender. I need you to ring in $2,000 in sales. And it's like, in your mind, you're like, if I ring in $1,600 in sales or $2,000, I'm probably still walking out with 3 bills because it's just one's going to be a lot more work. What is the purpose of this? What do I get out of it? And we live in a what's in it for me world. The problem is we know what's in it for the CEO. Those big bonuses, the yachts, the life. And I get it. It's not everyone can be a CEO. They earn that. But they have to make decisions. Just like him. You want to make bonus here at what cost? And those decisions had ripple effects that have affected everyone. It's the same thing with CEOs. CEOs, I don't want to mention companies, but when we had a pandemic this year, there were companies that were doing well. CEOs just gave out bonuses to a bunch of shareholders, blah, blah. Then the pandemic hit. They had no money in reserve for this situation because why would they? They didn't know there was going to be a pandemic. We are making money. We're spending money. We're blossoming. We're giving out minimum raises and life is good. And now all of a sudden pandemic hits. And who's the first people we bailed out? Them. We took our tax dollars and bailed those guys, the CEOs that we're living like fat cats. Yep. It's the same thing in Wall Street. Wall Street guys went around, made all this money, and fucking blew our money, bank's money, and then who did we give the money to? Bailed them out. I'm sorry, I no longer sympathize with those guys anymore.
That's why
because the idea that they're gonna make money and it's gonna roll down to me is a lie. It's been proven time and time again. When they make more money, they keep more money.
Well, just remember your Bitcoin.
I disagree with that.
Remember your Bitcoin.
Yes.
Your Bitcoin
guy
password.
Yes.
And you'll be fine.
Yeah. But I disagree with that. That's like just a horrible way to
It's been proven.
It's not been proven.
Read it. Ronald Reagan, Reaganomics has been proven. The idea that we have to sustain the top so that it rolls down and that the economy thrives.
But the top has to let it roll down.
They don't. That's the point.
What do you mean?
When people make more money, they keep it. I'll give you an example.
No, I'm going to give you an example.
Go ahead.
We all worked in 2 restaurants.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Outside of the corporate structure.
Yes.
That were opened. Those restaurants would never have been able to be opened if it wasn't for whom?
The owners.
A fat cat investor.
Okay.
It just never happens.
Okay.
So most of your startup businesses don't happen. That's where your trickle down comes from. It's your big fat cats, the people with the ideas that became successful off of their ideas that make a ton of money are now your people that spend the most money and also invest in new things.
I will give you, using the same example, Fat Cat Restaurant number 1, I don't even want to name them. If you walk up to bartenders and you're like, give me $1,000 out the drawer because I'm going to a strip club, and if you bring parties of 30 of your friends and family and you eat all your fucking food, this is another example of what they do. They abuse the money.
Who cares? It's their money.
I care because if they reinvested it into the business, it would work.
Well, then this is what I say to you, Gene.
But then again, if you're opening
find a fat cat investor and open up a business and do that yourself.
I wish,
but as that one restaurant he was talking about, those guys just took it as they weren't responsible for 30 people's lives.
Exactly.
If you're going to open up a business, you got to take the responsibility of
they're not
other
because
people's
they
lives.
hired someone who was responsible for 30 people's lives.
Right, but then they spent...
And they paid him well.
And then they ate all the food
but they
and
fucked
spent
it
all
up.
the money.
They
Guys, that's their prerogative, though.
See,
no,
so
it doesn't matter. I don't care.
See,
It's their,
he's just fighting for their prerogative.
because it's their property.
Listen,
It's
Bobby
their
Brown,
money.
you cannot. Their prerogative is not going to fly because that is the issue. That is the fundamental financial argument in America right now. That people have the right to make as much money as possible, even if it affects others in a negative way. I believe.
But what about that it affected us in a positive way? I don't know about you. I was dying to get out of Miller's corporate structure.
No, it
gave me a huge opportunity.
It worked, but it would have worked more if they had more respect for the whole financial process.
Sure, I mean, and that's also
my
growing
point.
pains
There's
and all, but
that's
those guys.
That's not growing pain.
You know what?
That is the CEO mentality. What they did.
You know what
That's
that
exactly
restaurant
what
was?
we're talking about.
You know what that restaurant was? That was just another place to fucking launder money for those guys. I can guarantee you that because they had too much money. They didn't.
And that's what corporate America's doing. That's what we're trying to tell you. CEOs are
You're not
laundering
trying to
money.
tell me anything.
CEOs
okay?
are laundering money right in front of our face, and we're
Yes.
fighting for them. I'm not fighting for them. They can still launder.
I agree
but
with
I'm not
you.
fighting for them.
I agree with you. I don't think that I don't think our government should bail out companies either. Don't bail out banks. This is what I was saying before. I agree with like that Nordic system where I think it's Sweden, how that they set, or Switzerland, how they have their shit set up. It's a completely open, free, capitalistic market that the government doesn't get involved in. If a company fails, the company fails. They don't bail them out. It allows space and opportunity for those other smaller guys to rise to the top.
And I'll tell you
if
this.
they fuck up and fail, they crumble, and the next one
And
comes.
I'll tell you this, which is this is very, I guess, revealing with both of those restaurants. This is the issue with comparing middle America and comparing small business with large businesses. When people who run small businesses run them like large businesses, they always crash because they're not the same. Like you said, the structure and money that keeps big business afloat, you can't duplicate it. It has to be there. It's either there. We worked for millionaires, but they're not. They're millionaires as in 2 mil, 3 mil, as opposed to Fridays that has millions,
Billions. That would be billions.
Oh,
I'm
guess
sure.
what? This building looks old. Let's reface it.
Right.
While you guys stand in fucking toilet water because we ran out of money during construction.
Right, that was a piss poor
But do you get my
investment
point?
and budgeting on their end.
Because
That doesn't mean that the whole structure is wrong and is implausible because a group of 4 fucking sort of millionaires fucked up a restaurant.
I know,
You
but
what
what
I
I'm
mean?
trying to make you understand is that I can't fight to put more breaks for guys like that to make the same mistakes.
I agree with you.
Because I will be honest with you, by and large, from what I've seen, and maybe this is just a Long Island perspective, those guys are plenty. There's a million restaurants just like that. Like we make fun of it.
Exactly.
Walk around Long Island.
Exactly.
There's owners just like that that just make the same dumb mistakes.
They want a restaurant because they want a restaurant.
Yeah, and
They
guess
like
what?
the
They
idea
don't
of
want
it.
to talk.
gonna happen
And they
all
don't
the
want to
time.
talk to the
And guess
corporate
what?
guys. We
God
don't want to hear
bless
how they do it in corporate. Blah, blah, blah,
God
blah.
bless them. Because I'm saying, because when James Joyce opened up, you fucking cleaned up. When Kodiak's first opened up and we all
cleaned
left
up.
Miller's, we cleaned up. I bought a fucking engagement ring.
And guess
off
what?
of that place.
And
paid
guess
for
what?
half of my wedding.
And I'm not fighting. They can pay $15 an hour, whatever it's going to be. I'm not fighting for them. I'm sorry. I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying
Well,
that
restaurants
you
don't have to pay that much. So
No, because instead
I'm
of
not saying that you have to, but
when I started it was $2.90 an hour, so now it's gonna be what $8? No, it's gonna be like $10 an hour now.
what I'm saying is
so.
that
10 plus
you
tips.
have to then be okay with all 3 of us not working at that place. One of us is going to get that job, not all 3 of us.
I'm already, bro.
And that's fine. If you're okay with that, then
Survival
you're
of
okay
the fittest has always been survival of the fittest. That is our capitalist system.
pretty much been that way anyway for restaurants. They always get rid of instead of
same-
just hiring someone else, they always going to get rid of the worst person regardless.
Yes.
And instead of just hiring someone else, they're just going to
I
put
told
more
you,
work
that's
on
how
somebody
This
else.
is not
So-
a capitalist system. Like
not a
what
pure
we're
capitalist
talking
system, but it's
about
close.
is not it at all.
What do you want it to be?
I want it to be an open, free, negotiable market. So if I come in and I apply for a job,
So if you're willing to do it for $5 and someone comes in and willing to do it for $4, you're okay with it. I get it. But the problem is, we're not okay with it because somehow we're going to have to pay for that because the guy who can't get that job, my taxes have to help him somehow. Whether it's food stamps, whether it's, you know what I'm saying?
It's a cyclical circle, man.
Like you're not breaking it.
Regardless, it's negative for both sides.
You're just deciding.
You can think your side is 100%
yes,
proof,
you're
but
deciding.
it's not.
You're just deciding who
The other
wins.
side
On anything here.
No, you're deciding who wins.
There's a couple
you want to
sides
know what
to
my
it.
side is? Get the government completely out of it. That's my side. And then you don't
And that would
have-
benefit the employers, but not the employee.
Of course it would benefit the employees as well.
No, there's no. It's in theory. You're hitting a theory. There's
But
no
in theory,
proof.
the other thing will work too.
Exactly.
So there's theories to everything.
Yeah.
It's regardless.
I don't see. All I'm saying is this: just
For
to wrap
something
this
that
whole
could
thing up.
have something that could have two completely different sides to it, and have people fighting wholeheartedly for it, makes me in the middle go, I don't know. Makes me go.
and don't get me wrong.
He could be completely wrong and right. You could be completely wrong and right.
Listen, I believe in
It's
good
just- it's
employers, just
hard
like I
to-
believe in good employees. The same way I think that
This is my issue
employees
right
have
now,
to lose
Gene,
their jobs.
with this whole conversation that you're spinning it to a moral end, and I'm not. I understand the moral end. Yes, as an employer, I care for my employees. I don't want anyone to be fired. I don't want anyone to struggle with their rent or be addicted
That's
to
not-
anything. I care about people as a whole, but I also care about me and the thing that I'm trying
Jesse-
to build. And all I'm saying to wrap this whole thing up, because we agree, the secretary loses her job.
No, but
what I'm saying is I don't like that.
No, here's my issue.
Hold on, let me just say my point. Is the whole thing I wanted to say was unemployment is going to rise.
Yes.
With the rise of $15 an hour minimum
100%,
wage.
because
That's all I'm trying to say.
But here's my question: would you be okay if Zelly, imagine, because I know she doesn't, but imagine she took 3 vacations a year?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be okay if Zelly came home and said, "Listen, based on the books and the way things are going to work this year, and the rise in minimum wage, we're only going to have 1 vacation this year"? Would you be okay with that?
Sure.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking for America's top earning people who run businesses and CEOs to also sacrifice, because as an employee, how many hours did you work off the clock?
Well, I mean,
we did it.
Any good business person is going to do that.
And
they're
that,
going to.
And,
but
and
what
you
they're not
are
gonna
always
do-
that guy that believes in so many. I'm the guy that's always telling you that I think people are dumb, and I think that rich people are greedy. And you're the guy who believes in them. And I'm telling you, there are not as many people doing the
Because
right
there's a
thing out
difference, Gene,
there.
because there's a difference. If you would have phrased that differently, what you just said is Melissa comes home and says, "I want to take away 2 extras that we have." If
No, I explained it.
If
I said
Melissa
it-
came home
she-
and said, "They just raised it to $15 an hour."
We normally go on 4 vacations a year.
No.
But I want to do 2. We're going to do 2 this year because I have to give back.
I'm fine with that. If she comes home and says, "I had to fire Mary, I had to fire Liz," I don't know who these people. I'm just making up names.
Yeah.
I had to fire Liz. I had to fire Jennifer. No, that sucks. What do you mean? Why did you have to do that?
Is she still going on 4 vacations a year?
Who?
Melissa.
If she is, then she is. You know.
That's not right. And yes, that's her prerogative.
That's
but
a program. But
saying-
what I'm saying is, where's the
looking at
balance?
it-
Where's the balance? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't believe in minimum wage,
I
then you
see both sides
you
of it.
should
I
also
see both
believe
arguments,
in
though.
the top doing a little bit more.
I think if you can mix both.
Okay, I get you now.
Okay.
But now I disagree even harder because what you're saying is
You're telling people what to do.
Yes, I am. Yes, roll the money downhill the way it's supposed to roll.
I'm going to change what I've worked for my whole life to
Right.
give myself the life that I want.
And that's the negative
because
side.
Uncle Sam is telling me that I must pay this unskilled person this
You
much
thought
money.
he was going to agree with that, though?
He's so rough.
And listen, but he's...
Okay,
It's
okay.
a good
I
point.
worked my ass off to get to this place
Okay.
where I can bring my family on 4 vacations because I grew up poor,
Okay.
putting water in my
This is-
cereal.
Give
My
an
kids
inch,
don't
take a
have
mile,
to,
Gene.
but
That's
now
what
Uncle Sam wants me to.
Okay, listen.
That's the give an inch, take a
Unskilled
mile.
labor?
Okay, ready? This is the final example, and then we're gonna move on to Bitcoin. Okay,
I ain't
so
moving on to Bitcoin.
so
Go fuck yourself.
so in my restaurant,
Bitcoin. Remember your passwords. Done.
in my restaurant, they raise tip out for the bartenders.
You said this.
Yes,
Yeah.
they made a decision based on the pandemic that.
Listen,
Listen.
I heard from this too. I'm not saying
bartenders are suffering. They're no longer allowed to have 3 deep or people around the bar. They're 6 feet deep. So now they are getting double the tip out they used to get.
Right.
So now they came to me. And, they're like, what do you think about it? I'm like, I don't give a shit. And I pressed on. And then a bunch of servers were like, are you fucking kidding me? They fucking raised the tip out. This is bullshit. And you know what I told them? I was like, my tip out is not your tip out. Like, I tip out so much more than you guys. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I tip out quadruple what you think you tip out in a day. They're like, what do you mean? I tip out busboys cash. I tip out food runners cash because I buy performance. I buy it. Like, for example, when my food runner goes to my table, he goes, Gene, I'm like, I pay cash. I don't give a fuck what they told you. Fix it. I pay cash. Because one time I had to talk to the food runner. I said, you know why I pay cash while other people write you your shit on your credit card? I go, because I'm paying for you. I'm paying for that moment when you get to my table and you have to make a decision. Do I have to go back?
It's another way of.
Do I have to go back in the kitchen?
It's another way of doing business.
The fork for Gene because he forgot. You're going to get the fucking fork, bud, or you lose the cash. But my point is, I understand for me to make the money I make, and that's why I make more money than anyone. I spend it first. I invest in people.
But a lot of these people are doing that. You just don't know.
So I get what you're saying. And some servers don't do it. They think I'm retarded, but I make more money than them. Because what they do is they're penny pinching. They're like, my tip out is 3% to the bar.
You know what I think you're getting at, though, Gene? I think you're looking at the people that you see get bailed out, and then they're giving themselves bonuses.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
Those are the ones you really are mad at.
Yeah, that's what I'm mad at. I'm not mad at small business. I'm not mad at small business. I understand.
He's looking at those people.
He's looking at small business.
Right, that's my whole point. Is that this government interference into it is fine for the Walmarts.
Yeah.
Because they're not. Like I said, is Jeff Bezos going to take less money? No. What he's going to do is he's going to restructure his fucking thing. He's going to pay people. People are going to get laid off. He doesn't give a shit because he still has $180 billion, right?
Right.
But what it does do is it fucks Melissa.
No, I get it.
It screws over us regular tax-paying Americans that are trying to build something, that want to be.
No, listen, I'm with you.
Have aspirations.
The reason why we even got this deep in it is because this is what I was trying to tell you is like, for the example of our restaurants, I can't believe that our restaurants are like the fucking shining example of failures. That's kind of sad now. But what makes those restaurants interesting is that if he chose not to run it like the big ones, and he ran it like what they really were.
You know,
for example, if he decided to say, I'm going to spend 40 hours or 50 hours in the kitchen or in the front, whatever, I'm going to spend 50 hours in the fucking building, 25, there'd be 3 of each of those restaurants. But the idea to try to run it like the mega buildings that he came from.
Now I see what you're saying. See, we had a disconnect here. Because when I used to sit down with them.
It took 30 minutes to figure this one out.
Yeah, well, because when I used to sit down with them and say, we came from the most successful, I don't mean that. I mean the way that they.
No, you mean the things that worked.
Exactly.
That worked. Yeah.
We all know the things that worked in the 3 most successful corporate restaurant chains in the world. We worked in them. We know what made them successful. Why can't we implement that here? And I don't mean on the grand scale of spending and things like that.
Because but that's what small business. I'm going to be honest with you. This is one of the reasons why I got out of consulting, because I used to consult a lot. The reason I got out of consulting is because small businesses, a lot of them want to be big so bad that they make big boy decisions in real time that they just are not ready for.
And that's a good segue, to where we're going to be doing our show next week, which is Coffee Booth, which is a small mom and pop coffee shop that's killing it.
You know what's so funny? He's a perfect example. Everything you tell Ronnie, if it's too big for him mentally, he says no. And he's right. Because he's small business, stay small till they're ready. Till they're ready.
Yeah, because he implemented
another one.
Yes,
1,000.
we want to.
1,000.
Absolutely.
But
I want to
when he's ready, because when you do it too fast, you implode and you fuck shit up. And you got to do things.
Right, he lived it.
When you should, he's seen him, because when people overdo it,
which is why you shouldn't ever erase history.
Well, he implemented. It's valid. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Businesses.
He implemented big things into that coffee shop that no place really does. But he did it over time. Like when we'll have him explain the story of how he got to where he got with the way he makes his coffees, because it was just gradual buildup. It wasn't, all right, I'm gonna put all right, we've seen this. We're gonna make a new menu with 15 items of these kinds of things instead of implement one.
Yeah.
Figure out how to do it. Maybe alter it. Like he added one. It's not working this way.
I fell
it's not
victim
working
to
this
that.
way. Of course.
With Kodiak's, right? It was like, ooh, I get the opportunity to do my own thing. Mixology bar. I've always wanted it.
And then
Let's go hard. I need 15 watermelons a day because we're using fresh watermelons for these martinis.
You know what kills me about that too? He was fresh off of clapping at me throwing green books in the trash. Fresh off clapping.
Green books would be
Miller's or statute of limitation. We beat it. We threw green books in the trash. I did.
Well, listen,
Green books was the drink menu at a restaurant.
Fair here with the green books.
No, your book was
Every recipe in that Miller's Ale House green book was a piece of shit. There's not a single good drink in there. They ripped shit off of Fridays and they did it poorly.
Of course, it was terrible
drinks.
drinks.
They did like the low budget Florida remix.
They were terrible drinks.
It was awful. They were awful drinks.
No,
and I remember trying to learn these drinks going,
what's the point? Yeah.
what?
Half the time I didn't even do it. I made Frags margaritas the whole time I worked there.
Me too.
I never
because
once
they were
did
delicious.
I never once did their recipe.
Guys, why are we running out of orange juice so quickly?
Yeah.
Because your margarita mix sucks.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because margarita mix in general sucks. Now that I work at a bar that uses fresh lime and agave, I'll never go back.
Yeah.
But yes,
thanks for defrosting my margarita mix. That I gotta put in a blender.
Yes,
and
I
give
fully
someone a
support-
straight face.
I fully support small business. You guys can do this.
We covered everything. It's pretty much as far as I'm concerned. Do you want to do a quick? Because I got one. I got a Rushmore.
Oh,
Really?
let's hear it. What do you got?
It's because it was actually from your story of talking
Action
about
heroes?
Yeah,
I knew
action.
it. I felt it.
Action hero movies though.
Yeah.
because I got one already. It's one of my favorites. That's True Lies.
Really?
Bro,
It's a
True
great
Li-
movie.
and it's
great
the scene.
movie.
It's funny because he mentioned
I
the
did. I
scene from
mentioned-
True Lies,
True
and I'm
Lies.
like, that's my favorite action. One of my
that's
favorite
funny.
I
ones.
mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger does do a good job.
True Lies.
That's Arnold
is
Schwarzenegger,
epic.
right? That's
Yes.
his actually.
The
Especially
movie.
for the time.
That's actually
that it came out.
That's his best English sounding movie.
Yeah, sure.
His accents are hard.
It's also his best
You don't
fucking
think- you
acting.
think
like 10
that's-
lines
So
in
you're
that
saying
I mean,
that-
maybe T2.
That's what I'm saying. That's better than Terminator.
I just love it.
It's a great movie. I agree
love
with
True
him
Lies.
there.
And what pisses me off is that I can't buy it on iTunes, so I can't see it on my Apple TV because for some reason it's not on fucking iTunes, and don't know why.
Yeah, but you're
So wait,
you're
you're
talking
saying
about all time.
You're saying movies or characters?
Movies.
You're
All
saying
right,
all
so
time.
John Wick 1, John Wick
Movies.
2, John Wick 3,
No.
and then the Bournes. I fill in the rest. Sure.
No, I think John
Well,
Wick.
they are making a John Wick 4, so we should bring this one back in a year.
I think John Wick is great, but that's recency bias.
No, I didn't want to go recently. I did want like a 90s
Yes,
old school
that's- yeah,
action hero,
exactly.
like Rambo, like those kind of 80s, 90s.
Rambo's
old
80s,
school.
but Rambo's is classic. I still watch
So
Rambo.
you're saying I can't throw John Wick
Nope,
in
no
here,
John
even though
Wick.
he's the greatest action hero
Yes,
of all time.
yes.
Okay.
So hold on.
Because this isn't of all time, it's of specific era.
So hold on.
so-
Is Matrix allowed in this?
No,
Okay, just checking.
that's 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2000.
Okay.
That's exactly 2000, if I'm not mistaken. Where's it 99?
Because Matrix changed the game.
Maybe 99, but still.
Matrix changed the
The
game.
Matrix
It's not an action.
series.
I'm talking action hero.
Neo is an action hero.
All the dudes that were in the Expendables, that kind of action. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes.
Fucking Sylvester Stallone. Classic white guy.
Wesley Snipes is in there. Don't
I was gonna say,
discriminate,
no,
bro.
Wesley
Come
Snipes.
on.
Blade's in there.
Blade is still
Pick a blade and then throw it in there.
You know what's funny? My
Passenger
favorite.
57. Are you kidding?
You know what my favorite Nazi Slight movie is actually? It's Murder at what is it? 1800?
1600. Yeah.
I love that fucking movie.
Yeah.
That and Rising Sun.
Rising Sun.
Passenger 57 was one of my favorite movies. Like
that was
growing
good.
up.
Ah,
Are you kidding me? Wesley
it
Snipes
was good.
hidden on a fucking
know.
plane.
But when you say okay,
It's a great movie.
when you say action
was
hero,
good.
because like, are you talking about like Jean-Claude Van Damme? Like so,
Like Universal
Cheesy.
Soldier.
so
cheesy,
That's what I'm saying.
old
Because the other
school
one doesn't work. The
action
Bloodsport
heroes.
doesn't count.
Yeah,
Why?
Bloodsport. Absolutely.
Because it's a karate movie.
It's
That's what
an
I'm saying.
action hero movie, though.
But not
He's
really.
An
He's
action
not a hero.
Because there's no explosions. There's no
Okay, all right,
army.
you
So
wanna-
because Bloodsport's definitely in there. That the whole scene.
Bloodsport
Are
is
you-
one of the
Yeah,
fucking
and then he
greatest
goes.
movies.
That's what I'm saying.
And then with the judge, he goes.
But but not necessarily like an action movie.
It's a great movie.
Like,
Bloodsport is his best movie. Every movie
best of the Best. Remember that movie? Of
course.
Yeah.
Fucking. That movie was like.
I loved Only the
Universal
Strong.
Soldier. Those were like my go-tos.
Oh, you forgot that the white guy, Michael Dudikoff, whatever, American Ninjas. That guy was awesome, bro.
American Ninja.
You remember him?
Yeah, of course I do.
He
Man.
had like
That's
four.
that's
You
not
never
what I
seen
think.
those?
When I think 90s and 80s.
That was 80s. He ran the 80s.
I know. I don't.
Him, Chuck Norris,
What did you just say?
Yeah.
Who ran the 80s?
American
Obviously,
Ninjas. There
you
were
forgot
4
about
of them.
Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone, Chuck Norris.
I don't even know who those other guys
You're
are.
lying. Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible 1, 2, and 3. Some other shit.
No, 3 wasn't in the 90s, wasn't?
Yeah, my Chuck Norris is old, bro.
No, Chuck Norris was like 80s.
Bro, America.
But-
I'm talking about Mission Impossible.
Chuck Norris wasn't like.
Chuck Norris is so
was no
badass.
Sly Stallone.
Chuck Norris is so badass that
outta
people
here.
still swear by Chuck Norris today.
Chuck Norris got more popular
when he fought
because
Bruce
of
Lee.
Dodgeball.
What?
Yeah, and then all the memes.
The movie, yeah.
Chuck Norris's
That's where
beard's got a fist that could kill you. You know, like
Oh.
those things. That's why
No,
Chuck Norris.
I
is so
remember Chuck
popular.
Norris being popular because people really thought he could fight Bruce
All right,
Lee.
but give me this. Name a Chuck Norris movie.
I just named them.
What?
Which one?
Mission Action 1, Mission Action 2, Mission Action 3.
Action.
Oh, yo, that's
I
right.
thought you said Mission Impossible.
No, Mission Action.
You
Those
did
were,
say Mission Impossible.
He
I did? Oh, Mission Action.
That's
Those
why
were,
I said Tom
Missing
Cruise.
in Action.
those were awesome.
One's
When he
Mission
bites the rat,
Impossible.
when they cover his head and they throw
Yes.
the rat in his face, and then
Missing in Action was a good
so he's
movie.
in a Vietnam. They have him captured. They have him
Yes.
upside down. They cover his face and they throw a rat in there, and then they leave him hanging, and then they leave, and then they come back. They rip the shit off, and he's bit the rat dead, and he's wide awake like. Ugh.
See, you might have just put it on that movie on,
And
on
guess
the list.
and you forgot. Hold on, classic scene. Mel Gibson hanging from the rope, and then he fucking chokes the guy with his leg.
Lethal Weapon, let's go,
What?
baby.
Yo,
That's an action movie.
Mel
yeah.
Gibson was a bad. Like he pops his shoulder
Popped
back.
his shoulder back, yeah.
I'm like,
All right, so we
Eating dog
You know
treats.
what? You're right. You definitely
Yeah.
gotta do Lethal Weapons. Got to be on that.
yeah, bro.
Does it though? Does it?
List. Lethal Weapons.
Lethal Weapon's gonna beat out Blade?
Ooh, no, hell no.
No, Blade's on there.
Actually, I don't know, but
wrong.
Lethal Weapons is more realistic.
Lethal Weapon's gonna beat out Rambo?
Which one? You gotta be
Any
careful.
of them?
No, Rambo 2 is
The
definitely
first one, he
gonna
was
go on.
nuts. Rambo 2 was great. The first one, he went
Rambo
into.
2 was the first
God,
Rambo.
The first one was so good.
First one, he went hiking in the wrong park and almost got
Talking
killed by
about-
cops.
talking about First
It's a
Blood.
bad movie. Yeah, First Blood. You do realize that's about PTSD. Like
Oh,
that.
because we're talking movies, not characters. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, so First Blood.
2 was good because he went back to go save
I
the guy.
think, but Rambo is technically more of an action movie hero type of movie.
Yeah, but that came out in like 2010.
No, he did not. You're talking about the old Rambo.
What about Rambo 2?
Rambo.
So-
what
That
about
Rambo,
First Blood 2.
That was John Rambo. Technically, it was called. They killed the First Blood name after the first one.
No.
Yes, Rambo is Rambo 2.
When he goes back to Vietnam.
to go
Rambo
save the guy?
2.
That's
Rambo
Rambo
2. It's called. I'm pretty sure it's Rambo 2.
No.
John Rambo came out in 2010s or whatever.
That's
That movie was just called Rambo.
Yes.
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 So maybe it was. I think it was Rambo First Blood.
That's the one in the park.
No, First Blood is
First
First
Blood,
Blood.
and then it was Rambo First Blood Part 2. I knew it was First
see.
Blood Part 2.
But Rambo was in the name. I think
Then
they
it was
got
Rambo 3.
right. That's
Which
when
was
they
a
got rid
fighter
of.
jet when they went to the Middle East and he's fucking chopping in the beginning. He's in jail, right? And they're,
I don't think I saw
He's
that.
not in jail. He's in a monastery.
That's right. Yeah, the third
Yes,
one he's in the
the
monastery.
monastery.
Yeah.
So Rambo
and then
2
Rambo that came out in like 2010. His kill count is through the fucking
Yeah.
roof.
Steroids.
That's all GMO.
Yeah.
I definitely gonna have to put Rambo First Blood 2 on there.
Yes.
Which one's First Blood 2? Who's the villain?
Wasn't it just the war?
What's his name? The other army general. He goes back. He
remember
goes,
his name,
he goes
though.
on a secret mission to try and rescue refugees.
Yeah, and he did. Yeah, I remember.
He
Yeah.
gets the refugees, and then Murdoch.
He comes in and he shoots up
Right,
the
I think
whole-
it's Murdoch.
He shoots up all the cameras. When he gets back, he's like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm coming for you." Yeah. And he shoots up. Yeah. Okay, that was good. That was badass.
Dude, that's where he started the fucking
Yes.
the red bandana.
Hell yeah, the red bandana.
And the knife. And then they had the knife. Yeah. All right, I'll give you
All right.
Rambo.
I want True Lies on there because True Lies is epic.
That's not even his best one.
Doesn't have to be.
Last Action Hero's better than that.
No, it
And
was
that's-
not. You're
and that's-
absolutely wrong.
Is that with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
And guys, hold on. Hold on. Time out, guys. Did we forget that Bruce Willis saved Christmas?
I was
Die Hard. Have we lost our mind?
I didn't get to Die Hard yet.
Guy threw Hans Gruber out the fucking window.
Hans Gruber, yes.
Hans Gruber out the fucking window. Whatever.
I love that Gene fucks up names. You're just like Charlemagne. You know that?
And then his names up. Shut down the entire East Coast.
Yes. Boom.
Okay, yeah.
Firestorm. That's what
It
it's called.
absolutely should be.
He goes, John McCain.
Bruce Willis. John McClane.
Did you see the cyber one?
Funny story.
That's how good Die Hard is. Did you see the cyber one?
Yes, of course. That
I
one's
thought it was
called
great.
Good Day to Die. No, Good Day to Die Hard.
Yeah, that was a great one. Badass.
Funny story. When Ryan
that was
J.
the last one.
When Ryan J. got onto the NYPD, he requested to have John McClane's badge number.
Oh my gosh.
Said, is it possible to request a badge number?
And they did it?
I don't think he got it.
Oh.
Someone else had it already.
I forgot which one that was called. That wasn't A Good Day to Die Hard. A Good Day to Die Hard was the last one when his son's like older and they're in Russia or whatever. I didn't see it.
But the cyber one was awesome.
That one was really good too.
No, the cyber
one before it, I think
the one was awesome.
That's the one I was talking about, the fire sale.
Yeah.
That's where they did the blackout of the East Coast.
Yes, that was fucking a
They were attacking Social Security.
Yeah.
That one was fucking sick. Such a modern idea.
Yes, premise, everything was right.
Yeah.
Until they jumped off a fighter jet. But go on.
Hold on. Lethal Weapon made it?
Yep.
Either Weapon made it. Die Hard makes it.
Die Hard makes it. Okay, all right, I'm feeling good now. You're still fighting for True Lies. Keep going.
Fuck
What
yeah.
else?
True Lies was
Blade.
epic.
How do you not have Blade in here? Like, I didn't even know we had to keep saying
That's
it.
more superhero. That's not the same. That's why it's not on there. That's why I'm not even. I know you're absolutely right, but it's not the type of
See, the problem is-
Tango and Cash.
Think of action hero. They would be like a Tango and Cash. Absolutely. See, that wasn't very memorable. for me.
Cobra.
Tango and Cash. That's Rambo. That's the same guy.
I'm just
So
saying.
was Tango.
No,
Or
but
Cash.
Tango and Cash was
I don't know what
different.
Tango
Tango
was.
and Cash was
Tango and
such a
Cash was
good
like
movie. They go
Kurt
into
Russell-
the jail. And
I know that's what he called. Didn't he calls Rambo a dick or something like that?
Yeah.
Right? Because Rambo was a dick.
Oh,
So
does
that's
he?
Stallone,
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that. I never
like
picked that up.
he's
Oh,
the,
right. That's one of my favorite parts of that
Yes.
movie.
Oh, yeah, I don't
When
remember
he called,
that.
all right, there, Rambo, and it's like Rambo was a dick or something like that.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch
Little
this movie.
little meta thing.
Gotta love Kurt Russell, too.
Little
And then
meta
he did-
action thing.
Kurt
What
Russell,
about those?
Big
What
Trouble in
about
Little China.
Escape?
That's Kurt Russell. Big Trouble in Little China.
Escape from New York. You know, that was another...
Escape from New York. Who's in that?
Kurt Russell.
That was the
That was
part
a big
two, right?
action movie.
Wasn't that part two?
Yeah, the first... no.
First one was like 1980, and then the second one was like 95. It was really crazy. It was like 15
Snake Guys came back. Oh, yeah, maybe Escape from New York, I think it was part two. Yeah, you're right.
Escape from LA was the first one.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me cheat.
For what?
Because I don't understand. I feel like we're missing something. Big movies in the 80s. Were,
Yeah,
Just talking action. Like, let's throw out the actors. Who do you have? You have Schwarzenegger, you have Stallone, right? You got Bruce Willis, you got Mel Gibson, Wesley Snipes.
I
Who
want-
else is
I want
doing
a-
high,
I want a
high
bit of-
impact action movies.
I want a bit of reality in it. That's why I'm not picking Terminator 2 or Blade.
you didn't like Last Dragon? No, you don't know. Do you even know what that is?
Last
The Last Dragon
Bruce
was a
Leroy?
great
You
movie.
talking
but
about?
Bruce
that wasn't
Leroy,
an
yeah.
Of course,
action movie.
show
It's a
enough.
kung
No,
fu
Bruce.
type
No,
movie.
Bruce Leroy.
Show enough.
Show enough.
I always think of oh, man.
With the glow.
I feel
I always
like
think of
action-
Glow was
Busta Rhymes.
real.
I feel like action movies are machine guns and explosions and armies.
True Lies, Commando.
Commando.
No, Commando's not good.
No, it was terrible.
Actually, hold on.
It was awesome.
Also, Arnold
was an awesome
Schwarzenegger in
terrible.
Predator
Great movie.
was more impressive to me than the other movies.
Again, I want a
He pulls
bit.
up that little
I want a
thing,
bit more
and
reality
he has-
into it.
That's reality. He was a
I
real
want
large-
action hero, like action, not
John
just
Wick? Okay.
like a John Wick. Though.
Wait, but you didn't like
real
No,
though.
I know.
You don't
There's
think
no.
Pre-
There's no.
You don't
like,
think Predator was action?
It was
No, I
also
get what
involved
you're
in
saying. So
aliens.
That's
and-
where like your lethal weapons come in now.
Right, that's what I'm
because
saying.
that's a real.
it narrows the scope down.
Yeah, it's like a cop action style.
All right, so
You got to keep it narrow because if we're gonna be
bad
doing
guys.
these every show, we're on freaking episode 400. We're gonna be like, I don't know.
Best Van Gogh vodka flavor.
Right, exactly.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
gonna get
don't-
stupid.
Don't remind me.
So,
I don't know why.
all right. So we're gonna put. I'm putting True Lies on there.
I know you've been trying to sneak it in the whole
That's the
time.
third one, guys. It's True Lies is going on there. It's an amazing action movie. Go watch it again.
I actually just recently watched it.
It's
It is a great movie. But I will say, if I have a choice between True Lies or any of the lethal weapons, I'm going lethal weapon every
but
time.
they're both on there.
Who?
Lethal Weapon's on that. Lethal Weapon 1's got to be on there.
All right, we
Yeah,
got to
but-
reorganize.
Yeah,
here.
but you guys.
What do we
It's-
do?
it's not top four, remember?
We're going First Blood, Rambo, First Blood 2.
Yes. Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
Any of them. Let's say 3.
Okay.
It was so good.
See, I loved 4.
Is that with Renee?
Jet
4 was
Li.
great too.
Yes.
4 was great
3
too.
was good, though.
But 3 was great
Because that's when, wasn't that when Pesci was
Pesci was
introduced?
in. And
Yeah.
they fuck you. They fuck you with the cell phone.
That was 4.
Oh, they fuck you at the drive-thru.
Which one of them was 4. They always fuck you with the
was
cell
3.
phone. The cell phone one was 4. The one. That was with Chris Rock.
The drive-thru one
Yeah,
was
Chris
number
Rock.
3. Yeah.
So, but which is the one with, but sir, you're blick? When he tried to open an account in some like South African thing.
but sir, you're black.
I think that was
Yeah.
two, it might have been 2 or 3. I don't know. They're all amazing.
Yeah, they're all kind of.
All right, so you want to go Lethal Weapon 3 because that's the one Joe Pesci's.
What's the one where he shot the guy in the face with the nail
Diplomatic
gun?
immunity?
That's number 3.
Yeah, when he goes, I have diplomatic immunity. It's like it's just been revoked.
It's just been revoked.
Yes. Best scene in the movie.
All right, so the Lethal Weapon 3, Rambo 2.
Die Hard. You can't.
Die Hard.
I think it's Die Hard and True Lies, man. True Lies was epic. You guys are
He's thinking True
underplaying.
Lies in there, but
You
I
guys
don't
are-
know.
you guys
crazy because I love True Lies.
I love True Lies. I just don't. He's turning
think
True Lies
about
into
the
like
epicness of it.
I don't see how. That's where I struggle.
Can I throw out a different one?
I'll give you Schwarzenegger, but not that movie.
When did it come out? Yeah, this one fits the bill.
Which
I
one?
think immensely, and I can't believe we've overlooked it.
I'm listening.
Independence Day.
Again,
That's
we're
2000s.
basing it, trying to base it in kind of a reality.
He removed aliens.
Yeah,
Once
I
you
guess
remove
that.
aliens,
Because we could do best alien movie. I mean,
Oh, we'll do that
movies
next
you
week.
could if you specify it, we
Fair.
could do 40 of them.
Fair.
So that's what I mean. And you could do time period, so you can.
Well,
it's
I'm
almost
giving up
infinite.
on this one, Gene.
feel
I will grant him True Lies.
so Van Damme's not making the list.
No, Van Damme
One
is-
movie.
Van
Time
Damme's got-
Cop. He had some Hard Target.
Those are not better than True
Universal
Lies.
Soldier?
Not better
Universal
than True Lies.
Soldier with Dolph Lundgren.
Also based in
So where is
time
he?
travel.
Around. It's like the greatest way to end a movie. There's a guy in the wood
Go
chipper.
on, go on. The other 3 movies you guys chose fit into my description of action hero movie. Not superhero or
you did-
sci-fi flick.
You did it right.
Action hero movie.
You did it right by heroes, but so Bruce Willis made the list. Sylvester Stallone made the list.
And it's also, you got to think
Arnold
of like,
Schwarzenegger made the list.
the time that we're in there.
And who's
If it's
that?
True Lies, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then who else is there?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson of the 90s. Are you kidding me?
No, but I feel like we're missing someone big in the 90s.
Well,
bro.
technically Danny Glover is in there too,
No,
so I'm happy
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
We're missing Wesley
Show a
Snipes.
little, get a little color in there, little spice. Eh,
But
Yeah.
no, I think we're straight. I think that's a good Rushmore for
I'll take it.
90s action.
I'll take it, but I know I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna text you like at least 5. It's gonna start around.
stop
Yes,
it.
it's coming.
True Lies.
Yeah.
Stop
No, it's coming. It's coming.
Love you guys.
There's not a single Steven Seagal movie on here. Like,
Oh,
come
shit.
on.
Because it's not. I mean, he did do.
What?
Hard to Kill.
Bro, Under Siege is classic.
Under Siege.
Under
That's a
Siege.
real-
Come on,
And that was
bro.
the 90s.
And look at the bad guys in that movie. Tommy Lee
Tommy Lee
Jones.
Jones.
The other guy, the blonde.
The other guy. You know what's even
What's the blonde's
First guy,
name?
the second guy.
No, Tommy Lee Jones is the main guy, but there's a blonde guy, but he's in every movie.
We could save this because if we ever did like Rushmore rankings of what's the best sequels, Under Siege 2 is on that list for me because it's by far better than the first.
That's with the black guy, Maurice Chestnut.
That's when they take over the train.
Yeah, that's when he showed up, Maurice Chestnut. I didn't know.
Oh,
he was.
yeah.
I didn't know he was still in that movie. I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah, I love Under Siege.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, guys. This episode was long. I love you.
Subscribe and
Like and subscribe. Episode 20, baby. Happy MLK Day.
Tell 3 friends.
Later.
Peace.